All right, we're doing this here. New season power rankings for ETA Season 6. That's right. This video is going to be kind of a long, sort of podcast style video where we go through each team for Season 6 and give it a rating. Talk about how good we think they are. I'm joined by two other coaches here. Please introduce yourselves now.
Hello, I am Michael Haley, co-owner of the ETA.
What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Eli the Rebel. Neither an owner or co-owner. I'm just here for the memes, baby.
Just an OG.
Just an OG. You know, I know the lore better than most. You know, I know my heritage.
The ETA lore is starting to run.
It's important, man.
No. We're going to start off with the Toronto Torterras here, all right? Coached by Mr. Mike Haley. Very interesting team. Bringing back the signature Torterra captain. Of course, MVP from last season. First-round pick. But very interesting sand team now, it looks like, this time. We've got the Dracozolt going on. Megalopony is there. As a good mega. I really like the Pecharunt too. I think Pecharunt is interesting, and I think it's cool. It synergizes pretty well with Tyranitar, I think. So yeah, I think this team's kind of cool. What do you guys think?
I mean, me personally, when I'm looking at this, like you talked about a little bit about the synergy. I really like how Tyranitar is built around, we have the Moltres here, the Starmie, the Pecharunt, like. All three of those are covering the glaring 4x weakness that Tyranitar has in fighting. Speaking of fighting types, you also have Megalopony.
Yep. Don't forget about Gligar.
Oh, Gligar, of course, right. Gligar. This is a Nat Dex league, so we have to keep this in mind moving forward and things like that. Is like, this is Gligar with Roost. This is Gligar with Defog on top of all the hazards it got. In Paldea. So this little goober right here is hazard control the Pokemon. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's a nice, I do think it makes a nice defensive core with Gligar. I mean, it also has Sand Veil, which is interesting, right? I mean, Tyranitar isn't always the best defensive Pokemon. I mean, it does carry a 4x weakness and has a lot of weaknesses. But it has a lot of utility, and I really like it with Pecharunt and Moltres, too, like you said, and Gligar. I think it just, those defensive options round out nicely. Megalopony, obviously a great offensive Pokemon. Dracozolt is obviously great when it comes in safely in sand. Starmie synergizes nicely with Megalopony, I think. I mean, they're both fast. They both, Psychic complements fighting nicely offensively. And then there's just Torterra, which obviously can Shell Smash and be a nice, setup sweeper. The Berserker is a little bit of a low tier Steel type, which I think is unfortunate, but it's not terrible. But I do like the E tiers on this team. Dugong and Chimecho, I think, are two good E tiers. They both can Terra, so all E tier Pokemon can openly Terra in this league in this season. So that's something to keep in mind. If Torterra doesn't Terra, we can always see a Terra Dugong or a Terra Chimecho, and I think those are two pretty solid E tiers.
I think this team. I think just looking at you can look at the top 6 or 7, 8 mons right here. Like Mike doesn't have to rely on Berserker, Shiinotic, Dugong, Chimecho coming to games every single week. I think that this top 8 right here. Correct me if I can't count today, but this top 8 right here can come to pretty much every single game, and I think that's my favorite part about this team is these last 4 here are looking a little suspect, but they're not pressured to come at the same time because you have a Terra Torterra, pun intended. You have defensive flying types in Gligar and Moltres that can switch into fighting type attacks that Tyranitar doesn't appreciate. You have an additional Fizdef fighting immunity in Pecharunt. You have a spinner in Starmie, which is faster than 110, and then of course Megalopony is the fastest mon with 135 speed plus access to priorities such as Fake Out, Quick Attack, all that fun stuff. So I gotta give this at least a 7.5 and 8. from
Yeah.
Mike Haley. This is nuts.
Oh.
This is nuts.
It's not a bad
I
team.
appreciate that.
I mean, I could point out.
I honestly, if I can hop in real quick,
Yeah.
because I really don't like to comment normally on my own teams. But honestly, out of all the teams I've drafted in the past few seasons of ETA, this honestly isn't one of my favorite ones. I thought I kind of fumbled the bag a little bit. As you mentioned, like the bottom four, like Berserker and Shinotic, I even talked about in my draft analysis video. It was more just I normally like to have Steel and Fairy types on my team. I feel it's kind of just a requirement in draft.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized it way too late, and I was like, shit, I'm stuck with the D's. And, you know, like, that's the best I'm getting is Berserker and Shinotic. So I'm like, fuck, man, we're going to have to make this shit work.
But outside the lack of the Dragon Fairy Steel core, because you obviously you have this superstar Dragon and Sand, and then you have obviously the D tier Fairy and Steel type. Literally outside of that, like it's a solid Sand team that like complements each other front and back with a little side to side with the Terra Dugong and Chimecho. You know, normally you don't want to double up so much on, you know, double water and double psychic, but they're Terra captains, so that kind of cancels that out.
Yeah, I don't think
in a way
really matters too much because they're Terra captains.
Exactly. So that again, if the bottom four was like a slight bit more powerful, then I would bump up the 7.58 to an 8.5. But like I like this team. This team is solid. Like this is what you call a Sand team right here. Like it's a Sand team that can operate with or without Sand. Really.
For me, I think it's just the biggest flaw is that it's Steel and Fairy types are so low, and those are two very good types. So this team could definitely struggle against like a strong Dragon type, not really being able to take Dragon moves. I do kind of feel like their speed tiers are a little bit weak. I mean, like, you know, Megalopony's great, Starmie's great, but then it kind of falls off after that. I mean, Dracozolt is either fast in Sand or else it's not really that fast. So, you know, I think that's a little bit of a flaw, but other than that, I mean, offensively, I think this team can do a lot. You know, if they can get Dracozolt in, you know, Pecharunt and Gligar are both great pivots, even Moltres too, all great pivots that can help get Dracozolt in safely and bring in offensive threats like Lopunny and Starmie.
Because I'm looking at because you mentioned about the whole like, you know, fast dragon types and things like that. Mm-hmm. A Scarf Kyurem would absolutely run through this team right here and right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it has its weaknesses, but for me, I feel like it's gonna come down to can Torterra do its thing, can it get Shell Smash opportunities, and also can Dracozolt put in work. If Dracozolt and Torterra can put in work, I think this team will be fine. This team is great. But if they can't get going, then I think this team will struggle to do much. It just might get overpowered otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of I'll give it a 7 though.
Okay, a little harsher on the scale. I was on the 7.
That's fine. That's standard ETA. Everyone usually ends up with a 7.
Everyone's gonna end up with a 7. I just want to be a little bit harsh to each team, you know. I don't want to, you know. I'm gonna rate this one a 7. How does that sound? You
That's
said
fine.
7.5, right?
I'm not in control, so I'm cool.
Okay, we'll go 7. Let's go to the Wailmer Bremens, coached by Tranel.
Oh my goodness! 0. Why this team? Why this team? Why? So you know how like Mike could take a break on his team? I'm taking a break on this team because I don't want to look at this. How do you break all this fat crap? How do you break all of this? Go. You guys go ahead. My goodness.
It's not even like the fat crap for me. It's just like I think his 2 S tiers are great. Zamazenta and Mega Gardevoir complement each other really well.
Yeah, they're fantastic together.
Like, offensively. So, you know, Zamazenta's got the speed, Mega Gardevoir's got the wall breaking capability. They hit, you know, each other's resistance as well. So that's just great. And then, you know, Ogerpon, Wellspring, and Rotom Heat are nice. I think Ogerpon Wellspring is actually really good. And then he's got good pivots with Rotom Heat. Alamomola, too, which I think is a great mon. Crocodile's another great utility mon. even Crobat too, and then you got Terra Revivaroom in the mix as well. If like all the threats,
Yeah, Revivaroom as a Terra
above
captain is honestly very
weren't
scary.
enough, like it
I also
really
think
sets up. Yeah,
I was gonna say one of my biggest things with Crobat is I've told you this personally before. I'm not a big like floating poison type team, mainly because I think you can get taken advantage of with toxic spikes a lot. So I do like that Tranel kind of pivoted back with that and was like, I'm going to get another grounded poison type to take care of this issue and also have it be a very intimidating sweeper Pokemon. Because I think we've seen Reviroom as a Terra Captain before in ETA. I think Season 5, somebody may have had it. And even if it didn't perform the best, it's still very much a headache whenever you're building. Because
and it has new tools now. Like back in Season 5, I would imagine it didn't get the DLC 2 buff in Temper Flare to hit the steel types. So if you don't feel like running Terra Blast Fire, you also have Temper Flare. So the idea is like, oh, you click Gunk Shot, but it either misses or it's a steel type that comes in. Oh, you just Temper Flare the next turn. That's kind of like the little tech that Revivaroom gets now. Yeah,
it's definitely a nice buff. I also think the ability filter is really helpful, especially once you terrestrialize and then you only have like, instead of a 4 times a weakness to ground, whatever 2 times weakness you take on with your Terra. Overall, I think it's just a very good Terra captain. I think there is good bulk on this team. You got Zamazenta, you have Alamamola, you have Ursaring, who can also honestly be a pretty good defensive tool now with the Eviolite item. Yeah, and you got the fucking fat psychic cow too. So there is good bulk, but there's also offense with Gardevoir, Ogerpon. Crocodile can do a lot of things like Mayo mentioned. It can be support with Intimidate and Stealth Rocks, but you can also have those nice Toy Scarf, Moxie boosted sweeper sets.
Yeah, I want to see Guzzlord put in work. Guzzlord.
I would love to see Guzzlord come.
Love to see Guzzlord do.
I would have honestly loved to see if Tranel made Guzzlord a Terra Captain. That would have been fucking crazy.
True. Yeah. This team only has a couple defoggers in Rotom Heat and Crobat, and I guess
Pavilion as well.
So
that's half a defogger, Mike. Relax. Vivillon is a half a defogger.
So that
is a half.
He might force Rotom Heat into more of a defensive role and maybe have to bring Crobat more often. But yeah, I mean, I still think this is a very solid team. I mean, Alamamola with the water absorb, or Ogerpon with the water absorb really helps Rotom Heat too. And I think the speed tiers are pretty solid on this one. 100, 110. Obviously, Zamazenta is really high. Crobat's really high too. And then Crocodile and Rotom are both good scarfers too. And Revivaroom, of course, with the
lots of good range on this team
also,
when it comes to speed tiers.
Vivillon as a Terra Captain is also a really threatening setup sweeper, I gotta say.
Yeah, you got the Sleep Powder, you got the Quiver Dance.
Yeah, and even
Compound Eyes to hit those hurricanes. 91% accurate hurricane.
So yeah.
Man, do we? I gave Mike Haley a 7.5. So do I also give this a 7.5 despite how much I
see, dude? This is what happens in these power rankings. Everybody gets a 7. It's the curse, man. I know. It's that 7 curse.
It's hard for me to point out too many flaws with this team, though. Like, honestly, I'm trying to find...
I like this team. I would give this team a solid 8, quite honestly.
I would give it at least an 8.5. Because I can't really find too many flaws. I mean, Zamazenta is just like going to be so good. I feel like, in my opinion, I wish it was still banned personally, but
yeah, I don't know how that happened.
You're a piece of shit.
I don't know how that happened, but that's another topic for another day. I see like more leagues
video.
Like Zamazenta crowned than actual Zama, so there's that. Because at least with Zamazenta crown. With Zamazenta Crown, you have, you're locked into, just one item, which is, the shield.
You also have that steel typing now, too.
Yeah,
give
but
some
then,
more weaknesses with, like,
but then with this Zama, you have mono fighting with that speed stat that rivals something like Noivern. And then you have and you have the luxury to hold any item that you want. Heck, it could even run boots for all I care. Ugh.
Yeah, it just has great speed and great attack and great bulk. Like such a good bulk too. It's insane. So it's like late game Zamazenta is just such a problem because you can't one shot it.
Threat.
No. Yeah, good luck trying to one shot this thing.
You know.
Good luck.
I don't know.
Yeah. Give it the 8. Give it the 8. I literally can't be bothered right now. I don't want to look at this anymore.
We're going 8. I'm
Yeah,
saying
just
8.
skip.
Yeah, I like that.
We'll go 8. Okay, we'll
Just give him the 8.
All right, let's go to the cursed coach himself, Mr. Nickinator, and the Paralyzed Florges. Coming back with the King Gambit.
Oh, the King Gambit Victini. Oh, jeez.
King Gambino.
King Gambit last season, and he's coming back.
Yeah, Nick did have King Gambit on his team last season. It didn't perform. Not even it didn't perform well. Nick just really didn't bring it that much. He only brought it twice, and it got 1 kill all season.
Yeah.
I would like to see Nick bring this again. I think you can win any game if you have fucking Gambit in your back pocket. You got the Supreme Overlord and Sucker Punch. So, like, you can always bring that shit to a game and just hope and pray you can win those Sucker Punch buying games.
Yeah, I think
you always have
compliments it well, though.
Yeah, Victini is a great compliment to it as well. And then you have Togekiss, which also goes with it very well, covering its ground weakness as well as its 4 times fighting weakness. Same with a lot of things on this team, actually. There's like a lot of like good coverage for King Gambit.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely curious what Silvally wants to run on the weeks that Nick decides he wants to bring it. Like, I'm looking at the type chart right here, like, you know, I don't, because like the thing with Silvally on teams is like you don't want it to be the superstar typings, right? You don't want it to be, you don't want your Silvally to be forced to be water or fairy or steel every single week. So that's like the main question mark I have with Nickinator is just like, okay, is he gonna bring Silvally? Like, how often is he gonna bring Silvally, and what types is it gonna be? Like, because I hope that the best case scenario that like Silvally is just, you know, a complementary piece, whether it be, you know, for parting shot or for, you know, actually it could theoretically operate as a normal type with it, you know, holding multiple items, since you have Terra Porygon Z at your disposal, which can Terra out and have a new adaptability in like Bolt Beam, for example.
That thing is a great Terra Captain. I've used it in Yasha. Yasha actually hosted an Ubers league about a year ago, and Porygon Z was the Terra Captain I used in that league, and that thing is a fucking pack and a half. You get to just Terra adaptability whatever you want, especially those Terra normal hyper beams with adaptability.
Oof.
Sheesh, that shit's hitting.
See, I feel like Silvally might. This team just seems very.
I'm a huge Silvally hater. I'll say it with my whole chest. I think that Mon is poopy.
No, it's not. It's not that bad. But like, I feel like this team just has so much offense. I feel like Silvally is going to be locked into more of like a defensive role because like he doesn't really have like a lot of stuff to take hits and pivot out like into his offensive stuff. Like I guess Dragalge can do that with Flip Turn. But like I don't know, even stuff like Quagsire, Cursula, Eldegoss, like they're bulky, but like they're not really like defensive walls per se. Like, you know, Quagsire sure can do its thing, but like, you know, you can easily pack coverage for that. Aside from that, like,
I'm not understanding the other Terra captains in Auroras and Hypno. Nick must know something that I don't, because I'm not sure. Like, I feel like that Auroras could easily be like an Avalugg Hisui, for example, and that I can understand, and that I can understand.
I feel like Auroras. I feel like Auroras gives this team Auroraville, which helps King Gambit a ton, which helps everything a ton, and it can Terra out of its terrible typing into whatever and just set up Auroraville for the team.
Yeah, you can run like fire or something, get rid of that steel weakness, or even water as well.
You know, which can just help Porygon Z. Like, Porygon Z can double dance in Auroraville, so I think he'll definitely use that a lot, actually. I think Auroras was one of the best things we had at E-tier because of that Aurora.
Really?
In my opinion.
Despite having the worst typing in the game,
Well, it can
you
just
still
change
think it would be...
Yeah, they can just change it altogether
It
with
just become a
Terra.
water type, or a steel type, or a fairy type, and it can still set up Aurora Veil.
But even then, the glaring ground weakness on this team, your EQ switch-ins are, well, your EQ switch-in is Togekiss and
Elden
Eldegoss.
Boss.
That's a good point, actually.
That's about it.
This team is pretty weak to ground. So, yeah.
Hey,
I think
we found the Silvally answer. Just run flying.
Silvally
You're good.
flying. There it is. Every week.
I don't know. I can't give this an 8. That's all. I literally cannot give it an 8 because of that ground weakness.
Yeah,
it is a super glaring one,
I don't
unfortunately.
think this team is built out well enough defensively. Like, I don't think, I just don't think it's built out well enough defensively. But it's definitely...
All right, respectfully and peacefully, I'd give it a 6 then. 6.5, because Porygon Z is a gas Terra captain.
Yeah. I think what this team is relying on, it's relying on Auroras to set up Veil
and then overpower teams with all the great offensive threats that they have.
You have an amazing breaker in Porygon Z, and then you have so many setup options ranging from Unburden Cursula to Double Dance Terracon. It's there, but like. At the same time, you also want some defensive pivots, and this team doesn't exactly have that.
Yeah, and it also isn't very fast either. Like, Terrakion at 108 is the fastest thing, so, like, he's going to have to bring a Choice Scarfer every week. And, like, sure, there's good Choice Scarfers, like, Victini is a good Choice Scarfer, Porygon could be a good Choice Scarfer, but, like, it's just so limiting, Like, there's nothing, like, really that fast on this team either, so I just,
Right. Yeah, it's got to be a 6.5, I'm afraid. 6.5.
I'll give it a 6, dude. Let's be a little harsher.
All right.
Mayo putting the hammer down today.
Sorry, Nick.
Putting the hammer down. Just nope.
Like, I just don't want to give everything either a 6.5 or a 7.
Nick's literally going to be like, yo, they weren't just saying they're giving everyone a 7 and they give me a 6. He's going to be the fucking 50 cent. What did you say fuck me for?
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah, hate the game, brother. Sorry, man.
All right, so Shinrai is
the parent, bro.
Of the Brighton and Hove Ambipom. This is the defending runner-up from last season. Coming back here. This team is pretty good. Chin Pao, Tornadus, 2 very fast threats. And then Terrapagos, Mega Sableye is 2 very nice A tiers in my opinion. They kind of sit together nicely. As 2 bulky mons complementing each other. Swampert is there as a bulky pivot. Celebi, I think, is actually a great Terra captain because of its versatility.
It's a really good Terra captain.
Then we got some more speedy stuff.
I think it's one of the best ones we have in the entire league, quite honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see Terra Celebi as well. You can there's ways to use it offensively. There's ways to use it defensively. I'm excited to see how Shinrai is going to use it.
So yeah, I really like the bulky core of Terrapagos, Mega Sableye, and plus Swampert and Celebi, just a lot of versatility and bulk. And the team is very fast too, like Chien-Pao, Tornadus, Talonflame, all very fast. They don't even need to always run Choice Scarf or anything like that. So that's pretty good. Durant and Phalanx are 2 pretty good fast threats as well. Smeargle is on this team, which is interesting.
Which is actually a repeat because last season Shinra actually used Smeargle as well.
Oh, yeah. Then we got a couple Eviolite E tiers, which I think are pretty good, actually.
Yeah, Clefairy and Duosion, they're 2 Eviolite mons, which normally, you should avoid if possible. But because they can Terra, they add more diversity. And they'll be able to stick around longer if they do decide to show up to games. But my biggest criticism with this team is Chien-Pao, okay, so we've seen the Dark and Ice typing before with Weavile, and Weavile has a tendency to, not do so well against, steel types, or especially in the early game, right? You have you have Talonflame, Phalanx, and Swampert to break down steel types, and I don't think that's gonna be enough. Maybe if it was Terra Phalanx that I could justify it in that case, because you just no retreat and then Terra into something and start denting holes that way and start beating the steel types that way. But like that's the one major criticism I have with Shinrai right now. It's just like you don't have I don't think all three of the three of Swampert, Talonflame, and Phalanx, I don't think it's going to be enough to break down the bulky steels that want to take on Qian Pao 1v1.
I have another big criticism with this team. So two of the best Pokemon on this team are Dark types in Qian Pao and Mega Sableye. And so Fairy types are definitely going to want to come to break down Mega Sableye especially. Like, you need a good Fairy type to break Mega Sableye. But, the only Steel type on this team is Durant, and it doesn't even have a Poison type. So this team really doesn't match up into its biggest weakness, which is Fairy, in my opinion, very well, at all. You don't always want to...
There's also no flying type resist on this team either. So if you were to face something like a Choice Scarf, Star Raptor or something, that would be very difficult to switch into.
Look at Flamigo! Look at Flamigo and look at the rest of the squad!
I mean, Flamigo matches up pretty well against a lot of
would
teams.
go in right now.
Does Flamigo get Scrappy? Is Scrappy one of its abilities? All right, yeah, it's hitting that Sableye. It's smacking that thing.
Look at this team, bro. Sorry. I'm a Flamigo stan. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But going back to Mayo's fairy point, yeah, you're relying on Talonflame to switch into fairy type moves, and I don't think you want to do that per se. What are you gonna be? AV Celebi every single time?
AV Swampert as well. Swampert likes to run AV a lot too.
Yeah, I just feel like
that's your fairy type switch in.
Picked up a poison type, or at least just not have two top tier dark types. It's just a little redundant, Qian Pao and Mega Sableye are both good. It's just you're just really stacking up heavy on the dark types, and you don't really have enough support on the back end. I feel like.
Maybe the dark typing was probably I get that you don't want to lose to stored power. I get all that. But you again with the double dark, you're setting yourself up for Moonblast spam.
Yeah, I mean
something like Scarf Gardevoir could just clean up under the right circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, Qian Pao and Sableye fill very different roles. Qian Pao's doesn't really matter. Qian Pao's typing doesn't matter defensively at all. It's just purely an fast offensive mon. But
absolutely,
Mega Sableye is such a good defensive mon, and teams are going to want to bring fairy types for it. So if you pick Mega Sableye, you need something to complement it that can take on fairies, and he just doesn't have that. Terrapagos is nice. I think Terrapagos is a great complement to Mega Sableye, but you also need either a good steel type or a good poison type. And this team doesn't even have a poison type.
No poison type means T-Spikes look semi-free. I say semi-free because of Mega Sableye, Magic Bouncing, and whatnot.
Yeah,
so
that's
something to keep in mind.
I haven't.
Well, exactly. That's the thing is it has to Mega Evolve first. So if you get it out in the early game, it's always possible to. But then you do have Talonflame that could come in and devog. But if Talonflame's not there, and it's turn 1, you bring Toxic Spikes, I would bring that out immediately. Also, I've said this before in the previous video where I played Shinrai, but I am a Smeargle. I'm anti-Smeargle when it comes to draft. I think in VGC it can often work with all the support moves you get and stuff, but if you know Smeargle's coming, I know chances are you're just running a Focus Sash set, so it's very easy to just run a multi-hitting mon and just lead with it to take Smeargle out immediately. And it just kind of feels like a waste of spot.
Yeah, there's so much more, with the new item loaded dice, it just forces you to run more multi-hit moves, which makes the Smeargle stop go down because it wants to run Focus Sash 9 times out of 10. So I'm looking at for example, we were just talking about, Nickinator's team earlier, double kick Terrakion, for example. Double kick Terrakion, for example. That's a great way to get rid of Smeargle.
Yeah.
Great way to deal with Smeargle.
I mean, Clefairy and Duosion can fill some of the typing holes with their Terra, but like, and even Celebi too. Like Celebi can of course Terra Steel or Terra Poison, which I think could
Mhm.
work. So I don't want to like bash on the fairy thing too hard. Like I still think this team is good.
No, I honestly think Shinra is a very talented coach. You have to give him credit. He made finals last season, so I definitely think whatever he's thinking he's capable of doing, he could probably do. Let him cook,
Yeah.
as they say.
Yeah, but the team itself, I have to give it a 6 due to the glaring fairy weakness, the lack of breaking power of steel types, and the hazard removal. You're forcing Mega Sableye to be your magic bouncer as your primary way to get rid of hazards, specifically toxic spikes, with the lack of grounded poison. No poison at all. And no electric type at all, which also means you have a glaring flying weakness, and Scarf Flamigo would run you.
Yeah, I do think typing wise though, like Shinrai has good defensive Terra captains that can fill defensive holes. So I will say that. But I now that you mention it, I do think that he's missing like a little bit of wall breaking power. Like he kind of needs to set up with a few things aside from Chin Pao to like really do a lot of damage. So I think that's kind of a flaw too. But,
it's a 6 for me, Chief. It's a 6 for me. I'm sure Shinrai can figure things out and just like it looks like a Shinrai team with all these bulky pieces. Like a guy like me could never pilot this team. Why? Because there's no real offensive Terra captain. There's no real Terra offensive captain. But like Shinrai can make it work. So be my guest.
I'm comfortable with saying a 6 or a 6.5. I'd say it's pretty similar to Nick's team. Very hyper offensive.
So I will give it a 6.5.
All right, that's fine. Very offensive, not a lot of defensive backbone. So
yeah, it's okay.
I'm cool with that.
Next up, we got.
All right, this guy.
Oh, this guy. Oh, jeez.
This dude.
This guy.
Tell
boy.
Tell me what you think.
Oh man, where do we begin? Where do we begin with you? Where do we begin with Mayo?
Go ahead if you'd like.
Oh, hold on. Actually, I want to start with this. I want to start backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the bolt beam of Electabuzz, Mr. Mime Galler. Hold on.
Hell yeah.
This guy knows something that we don't. This guy knows something that we don't. Cause Electabuzz, for those that aren't familiar, is actually faster than its evolution Electivire. Because we're looking at 105 speed as opposed to Evire's 95 speed. And then you have Mr. Mime Galler, which can actually rapid spin, unlike Kanto, Mr. Mime. So
Mr. Mime gets Thunderbolt and Freeze Dry.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, you get
the Galarian Mime family is honestly very good. I think they're kind of overlooked. Mr. Mime, Galler, and Mr. Rhyme are honestly pretty good. They have a very in-depth move pool. I don't know.
Yeah, the dual typing combination is pretty bad defensively, but like you can but Mayo can tear it out of it. So like
you can tear it out of it.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. Excuse me, I'm fucking burping. Pretty good offense.
No, you're good, bro. You're good, bro. Chatot Turtonator. You want to talk about special wall breaking? Chatot with chatter with a specs on. Ooh. We got throat spray to boost it at +1 after the sound move. You got Shell Smash Turtonator. I pray that there's no copycat mons on this team, because with the slow speed and Turtonator having the ability to Shell Smash, it can eject pact and something can copycat it and start going to town.
Yeah,
I hope there's no copycat mon on this team.
I'll let him cook. The thing I like the most about
go ahead.
No, you started, bro. Don't let me cut you off. Let him cook, bro. Let him cook.
Whimsicott, Tentacruel, very, you have you have another defogger right there. You have a second rapid spinner if you don't feel like bringing Mr. Mime Galler. Terra Vikavolt, how do you switch into that? I don't know. Umbreon is fat. Skarmory also fat. I love how I love how they complement each other in a way. Like Umbreon is the Spadef wall and Skarmory's the Fizdef wall. Mamoswine, it was a round 2 Mamoswine, I think, as well. And I thought that was a reach, but then like looking back on it, it's just like, again, we talk about how you can't switch into Terra Vikavolt. How do you switch into Banded Mamoswine?
Yeah, how do you switch into Mamoswine, period? That's a great question. I just really want Mamoswine. That's all.
Yeah. But I just think the 2 S tiers, I think the biggest criticism I have is the 2 S tiers. The amount of times I've seen people try to use Boulder, it's just so I don't know what it is with Boulder.
I don't want to hear any Boulder hate right now.
I don't think Mighty Cleave.
I'm a Boulder stan, straight up.
I know you are, but like I get that it has a rock move that's accurate, but like the psychic typing is what's like is just giving me the heebie-jeebies right now because it doesn't help with dealing with the rock resists per se. Like how often are you clicking Zen Headbutt with Iron Boulder? You know what I mean? You really want it to just like, and then you have Annihilate, which it needs to get going like against the caliber of players that we have. We're gonna be able to play around Annihilate pretty well since as long as you don't touch Annihilate, that's the golden rule with Annihilate. As long as you don't actually touch this thing, if you do passive damage with it, you're gonna be just fine. I just think the S tiers aren't really S tier worthy in my opinion. And I think that's my biggest criticism with the team. All the other tiers, fantastic. But these 2 S tiers, they better ball out for you, or so help me God.
Okay.
That's a bold ass take. I kind of respect it. You said that with your chest, straight up. You weren't scared to say that.
Nope.
Nope. If I'll go on a little tangent about this team, I'll keep it very brief. The thing I like the most about your team, Mayo, is how balanced it is and just how much depth there is. If you take a look at that hazard chart, or if you take a look at that hazard control chart, you're not forced to have one Pokemon always be your defogger, be your hazard setter. There's so many possibilities for everyone to play a different role every week that I think it makes this team very intricate and hard to build for. You're not going to know what Pokemon is playing what role. Eli mentioned it. You have Skarmory and Umbreon as your physical and your special wall, but you also have other Pokemon that can be like that. You have Tentacruel down there, which is a great special wall as well. You can run an Assault Vest set on it. Even Annihilate, honestly, can be a pretty bulky mon with its base 110 HP. Yep. People run sets like that pretty often where it's just like max HP, even bulk up to bring it a step further. I just think there's a lot of versatility on this team that makes it very intimidating.
Yeah.
So what we saying? What we saying for this team?
Can I say a few things?
I'm gonna give. Yeah, of course you can. It's your team.
I feel pretty good about this draft. I feel pretty good about this draft. I like how it panned out. The Iron Boulder pick was kind of like I needed speed.
Off the cuff.
A fast speed tier.
Can I ask you a question while we're on the record?
Yeah.
How did you feel about that Victini snipe? Because I actually saw this original draft plan where Victini was supposed to be there instead of Boulder.
Yeah, my original draft board had Victini here, and it looked a little bit different, like down here. But it panned out well, I think. Because Iron Boulder gave me a lot more speed, which I was otherwise missing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was hard for me to fill in at the end. That's why I kind of got like 2 offensive E tiers to fill in some more speed. Because Whimsicott is fast,
decent speed. You also have Whimsicott with the Tailwind.
It's not really,
so there's always that possibility for more speed.
Yeah, you don't want Whimsicott to be your fastest mon in your entire draft.
Because it's
usually Whimsicott gets taken. I've made the mistake plenty of times of I forgot to pack a 110 mon. I need something faster than 110. Oh, Whimsicott's here. Okay, cool. And then I'm done with it. And then people just obliterate me through Specs and Teleon or some crazy crap. So getting Boulder actually makes sense because I'd rather have Boulder be the fastest mon on the team than Whimsicott, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I just needed
That's
a
the one
fast
Shout out to the
positive
Boulder.
thing I'll say about Boulder. That's the one positive thing I'll say about Boulder.
I just needed a fast revenge killer. Like, I don't think its defensive typing like really matters. Like, I understand that both Annihilate and Iron Boulder are weak to Shadow Sneak and whatnot, but like, it doesn't. Boulder's not here to take hits. It's just here to be the fastest mon on the team and revenge kill. Because otherwise, I don't really have fast revenge killers. That's the only thing that I would really bothers me about this team so far is that I don't have enough other fast revenge killers other than Iron Boulder. But I really like my hazard game. I think it's pretty versatile, so.
Yeah.
Everybody's gangster
what we
until they
saying?
get hit by a choice banded
You know what?
mighty
You know
cleave.
what? You know what I'm gonna say? If we're because this is Mayo's team, I think I'm gonna say a 6.9 out of 10. Very nice. Very nice team. 6.
I was gonna say an 8. Respectfully and truthfully, I was gonna say 8. I think this is one of the better teams we saw. I'd say this team's on par with Tranel's team. Well-rounded, versatility.
I don't know about all that. It's just those S tiers don't feel like S tiers. They feel more like A plus S minuses. If we're being honest, if you're asking me.
So I got a 7.4.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're trying to average this, I guess.
I'm okay with that.
Something like that.
It doesn't matter what my score is. We'll see at the end of the season how it pans out. All right.
Oh my god.
All right.
You know what?
Whose team is this?
This is a perfect time for me to go pick up that pizza I told y'all about before we started today.
You go pick up the pizza while
true.
we bash on the Orlando Yellow Magic.
Yo, if you come back and we're still in this, don't be afraid to hop back in here.
All right. So, the Orlando Yellow Magic, coached by Eli here. This is an interesting team. Cyclazar is here with Shedtail Legal. I think that's one of the most notable things about this team is that they have Cyclazar with Shedtail Legal. Very interesting. I'm not really sure how that's going to play out because I actually haven't really seen that. It's been legal for like the past 2 seasons in ETA, but no one has drafted it until now.
Past 2 seasons, ever since the release of Gen 9, I think we were one of the first draft leagues that you and I participate in that were like, you can use Shedtail. It's totally cool.
Yeah, we've been like one of the only leagues that kept Shedtail legal, but like no one has drafted it until now. It is an S tier, of course. Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. Terry on Mega, I think.
Great support, though, for some of the amazing offensive threats on this team.
Yeah.
You have Iron Valiant, which is arguably one of the scariest offensive pieces out there. I know when it comes to ladder and OU specifically, you normally see Tusk and Gambit at the top. You have to remember Val is always in that top 5 just because of how much it can offer to you. You can run booster energy sets, life orb sets, choice scarf sets, choice spec sets, choice banded sets. It can literally do anything, which I find to be the scariest part about that Pokemon. And getting it freely in behind a substitute with the move Shedtail really worrisome.
Yeah.
Because that is like, how the fuck am I supposed to deal with this?
Yeah, you don't know what it's going to do. It can do either physical or special. It's got utility. It's got Encore. It can do...
Yep.
So it just has a lot of opportunity, and I think this team also has really good wall breakers. I mean, Terry on Mega with like Tinted Lens is crazy. Mega Glalie on the physical side is crazy. Like physical wall breaker and special wall breaker, and Yon Mega and Glalie. Yon Mega also gets speed boost too, which like you essentially get a free speed boost when you Shedtail into it. Which like if you think about it, which is crazy. I think
all 3 of really Yon Mega's abilities are honestly very useful. I doubt you're ever really going to run Frisk, but you know what I mean? That's also useful in drafts sometimes, but the first 2 are just fantastic abilities for this Pokemon.
Yeah, even Ogerpon Cornerstone is nice offensive weapon to Shedtail into. I just have on this team. That thing is definitely not something to sleep on. I also like how this team has like some bulk mixed into it with Ting Lu and Tinkaton. Like
you have that physical and that special wall.
Yeah, just like 2 great bulky support mons. Even Lantern and Brambleghasts on the back end. Brambleghast is a good utility mon. And Lantern here. I don't know what Meowstick is gonna do, but it can provide screen support and like make the set up stuff with Cyclozar even more threatening, which is scary. Pyroar is a
I could
pretty
also
good
see
team.
potentially some kind of trick room sets too. You do have some
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon on this team that are a little bit slower that could be used as trick room Pokemon, I suppose, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know.
Actually, I take that statement back.
Yeah, this seems pretty fast.
Most of this team's fast as fuck. I thought it was pretty slow at first, but like I'm looking at this team is fast as shit. I don't really think you are gonna run some kind of trick room.
Yeah, aside from like Ting Lu.
Because I always forget Tinkaton is base 94.
Yeah.
I always look at Tinkaton and I see its big ass hammer. I'm like, that thing's slow.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's
surprisingly
slow and
fast.
it takes some hits, but it's actually pretty fast.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think this team has like a lot going for it offensively. I think like Cyclozar opens up doors offensively for this team, and it has like the right tools to really utilize it. It's got good hazards with Ting Lu. Cyclozar is a great spinner too. Aside from that though, like Rapid Spin Cyclozar and Rapid Spin Brambleghasts are really its only hazard removal. Like Yanmega can defog, but like it's not gonna want to.
Oh, when are you really gonna run that?
I think it's not that it's weak to hazards though, but like hazard removal is a little bit limiting. But Cyclozar is a great mon,
Mhm.
so yeah, I don't know. I do think this team offensively is a lot going, but if it has momentum, it's gonna do a lot. But if the momentum isn't in its favor, it might get on
It
the
paused a bit. You do have those two good defensive walls, but it truly feels like those are really the only two. I know most people use Lantern kind of like a bulky support mon. I just think with its natural typing, you can take advantage of it. Sure, it has Volt Absorb or Water Absorb, so you never know. But if you have like ground type just faster than base 67 speed, you're probably just going to knock this thing out with an Earthquake.
Yeah.
That's really my only problem is if the defensive walls fall, can the offense be enough to overcome that? So in terms of like a ranking, I'd say this team's probably similar to like Nick's team or Shinra's team, where there's really scary offensive presence. It's just the defensive presence I'm not exactly sure about.
Yeah, my
So I would say like a 6.5.
Yeah, I think it's about a 7. I mean, my thought process is more like if this team loses momentum, it's going to be hard for it to get momentum
To
back
regain it.
because it doesn't really have like a good like U-turn pivot. I mean, Lantern is a Volt Switch pivot, but like Lantern might not always come. Cyclozar can obviously shed tail, but it's fast. It gets a fast shed tail off, and then So I don't know. Cyclozar is obviously a great pivot, but I think this team could potentially get overpowered. But I think it's still really good. Like I still think this team's at least a 7. I mean, I might even call it a 7.5, closer to an 8, just because of how threatening it is.
You want to meet in the middle? Holiday. I called it a 6.5 and you called it a 7.5?
So we're calling it a 7.
Calling it a 7. ETA classic, baby. Lock it in.
Yeah, we're not even going to let Eli comment on
Hit
it.
hands and shake on it.
We're
Yep.
just going to keep going until he comes back from his pizza.
All right, but do me a favor. Go on a little tangent about Karakaz's team while I pee and grab another beer.
Oh, you want... All right, let me take it away. Grab another beer, okay. Yeah, before we recorded this, I got some sushi and drank some sake. Went out to eat, and I'm feeling myself a little bit too. Karakasa here. Let's see. This guy's got a team here. Dragapult, obviously, great pick. Double Dragon, with Dragapult and Kommo stands out to me. Plus Weavile, just like a lot of offense. The defensive core of Empoleon plus Gliscor is pretty solid, I think. Those two are nice, complement each other, both good defoggers. So you got hazard control and hazard support. Mega Pidgeot, too, another fast mon. Complements Dragapult decently. Just another good fast mon. Terrapalmot, too. A lot of offense on this team. Orbeetle's a nice little support mon. Utility mon. I don't know how I feel about Raichu on this team. Like, Raichu on this team doesn't make any sense when you already have Terrapalmot, so I don't really understand why Raichu is here. Because, like, wouldn't you just want to bring Palmot instead? Like, do you really just need the 5 more base speed? Because, like, Palmot is already stronger and has more coverage. So, yeah, I don't know why Raichu's here. You could have just, like, got another utility mon or something. The double Alolan core is pretty sick. Dugtrio plus Golem. Mag Cargo is awesome. Love to see the Mag Cargo. Hope it does something, puts in some work. Yeah, if I just go off on a tangent on this team, I feel like the Double Dragon core is a little bit of a weakness. Plus, you have Weavile, so like teams are always gonna want to bring Fairy into you, and so that really hurts Como-O. Just like on matchup alone, because it's just gonna limit Como-O. Because Como-O is like such a versatile mon. It's very good. It can fill defensive roles and offensive roles. It can set up. It can do a lot. But like just based on the team that is built around it, like it doesn't really have anything to complement it. Like it's just like teams are gonna pack Fairy into this team because they see the Double Dragon plus Weavile. So I don't really like that. I don't really like that Como-O, and like you already have a fighting type anyway. So like Como-O just seems kind of redundant to me here. Like I feel like you could fit another excellent like A+ tier or something here. But I don't know what else this team is missing. I mean, I guess it doesn't even have a Fairy type. You don't even have a Fairy type. Just get a Fairy type. Yeah, that's what I would say. Empoleon's a good Steel type. Get a Fairy type over Como-O maybe. Like offensively, like Weavile plus Dragapult, like is that not already enough? I don't know. I mean, unless you want to set up Sweeper. Plus Mega Pidgeot too. Like that's so much speed and so much power, like Mega Pidgeot, Weavile, and Dragapult. So, yeah, I mean, like, you can do all the revenge killing. There's a lot of power there, I mean, Dragapult can set up and Weavile can set up. Palmot has Revival Blessing, which I think could be an interesting mechanic for this team to utilize. If you just, like, Focus Ashley, Weavile, and just, like, utilize it, and then you can just, like, revive it with Palmot or something. He could definitely make use of that with the Terra Palmot. Terra Palmot can also like Terra Electric Double Shock, obviously, but like I don't know how well that's going to be used. We'll see. He could just Terra for coverage offensively, or even Terra defensively. I don't know. Terra defensively to get the Revival Blessing off. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Como-O feels a little out of place on this team to me, like I said. But I do think Empoleon Gliscor is like a nice core. It's just like a nice, good defensive pairing. So, and they're both like great pivots, great hazard mons. So, I definitely can't knock that. And I like Orbeetle too. Orbeetle gives it the sticky web option, the dual screens option, just another nice pivot that you can use. So I do like the Orbeetle utility down there. I like Alolan Golem. I feel like this team could trap steel types with Alolan Golem. I think that's a nice strategy for this team, is to magnet pull some steel types with Alolan Golem to open up doors for Mega Pidgeot and Weavile. Like that's definitely something I could see this team do, or just Shell Smash Macargo. Let's be honest. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like this team's pretty good, but it's just kind of awkward. Like this feels out of place to me. But other than that, like if Como-O wasn't here, I'd say this team's alright. Seems pretty good. Como-O and Raichu. Like Como-O and Raichu just feel out of place, but other than that, I think this team can be solid. Maybe a little bit more bulk. Raichu, Dugtrio is also kind of weird to me because like you already have a ground type in Gliscor and you already have a steel. Like there's just a lot of redundancy on this team. There's just a lot of like you don't have. You're also missing out on a lot of stuff too. You don't have a fire type. You don't have a grass type. So like maybe just like, instead of being redundant on a lot of types, just like diversify a little bit. I think that would be helpful. I guess you have Macargo. You do have Macargo. But like it's Macargo, So I don't know, Chief. Yeah. Yeah. I don't have too much else to say on this team. I mean, if I guess if I had to rank it, I would give it like is it terrible if I say 7? Is it terrible if I say I give this team a 7? It's just like
The team has a McCargo.
oh,
At a minimum, it's a 7.
dude, you're finally back. I've just been rambling. I've said all I needed to say.
I've been here for so long. I've just been letting you fucking go.
Oh, dude, please.
Like I'm sitting here like shaking my head, and I'm like, yeah. Like honestly, like he's kind of spitting facts. No, I agree. Like I like Karakos's team. I just also find Komao and Raichu to be so redundant. Like
Yeah.
there's so much speed and power on this team. I think Gliscor and Empoleon and Orbeetle are a cool defensive core.
Yeah.
I just don't think that they can always put all the pressure on their back. So I definitely would like to see a fairy type. Like, I'm literally, Karakos, I'm going to give you some advice right now. I don't need to give you advice because you literally just won the PWC Blackthorn division. So you don't really need a scrub like me telling you what to do. But, like, I'm telling you, bro, like, there's some good-ass fairy types in the A tier you could grab.
Yeah.
Isn't that where Como was from? Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, bro, you could get Hatterene. Get Hatterene. That
Yeah.
thing is sitting on free agency right now.
Yep. Listen, if you drop Komao and pick up Hatterene, this team jumps up a full point in my power rankings.
100%. 100%. This team goes from like a 7, 7.5 all the way up to like 8.
Yeah. I mean, and just, bro, fucking ditch Raichu to the curb, man. When are you bringing Raichu? When are you bringing Raichu
Hey,
over
don't
Palmon?
hate on the Chu family.
Bro, like, it...
But is he
Raichu
bringing
hater.
over Palmon? I get it. You're right.
I'm a certified Raichu hater. I don't know. I'm giving this team... Now I kind of want to give it a 6.
Whoa. Oh my God. I just said it has a McCargo. At least give it a 7.
All right, you're right. Marcargo bumps it from 6 to 7.
Saving grace, baby.
Dude, Macargo better. You gotta bring Macargo at least once and do something. Click shells.
Please, Karakasa, that's all we want.
Begging you.
Just want.
Begging you. Please bring
Begging you, bro. Please bring McCargo. I just want to see it in action.
I know.
I want to get a link to a battle one day. You know, be sitting down, be like, oh man, you know, people are playing right now. Let me check out the game.
Dude, I just want to root for Macargo.
First thing I see on the fucking screen is McCargo sitting there on the team preview.
Yep.
I'm gonna scream at the top of my lungs, be like, let's fucking go.
Yep. Agreed. All right.
All right, Grill.
Yeah, we're just gonna move on. Will Grill, the Exhilarating Xurkitrees. So Landorus T, Aegislash, Slowking Bulu, Arcanine, Mega Sceptile, Cinccino Gastrodon. Oh wow, I haven't really looked at this team until right now. This has got a nice Firewater Grass core with Slowking, Bulu, Arcanine. But then there's also Gastrodon and Mega Sceptile. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, Landorus T2, just like a lot of bulk on this team.
I was going to say, this team's actually kind of the inverse of a lot of other teams we've seen that have been very offensive focused, while this team is very defensively focused. You have Lando, you have Aegislash, Slowking, Gastrodon, lots of just bulk, just fatness sitting there.
Yeah, and
I guess it's to take some hits, because Aegislash can also be a good offensive threat. Everyone knows with stance change, it turns into a threat. But, you know, what else do you have for offensive pressure on this team?
I mean,
you have Bulu.
You still have Bulu. Don't underestimate Bulu offensively.
Oh, no, absolutely not. You know, like, I think
Mega
Bulu
Sceptile.
can absolutely put in work, but when everything is placed on its shoulders to carry that work, is Bulu the type of Mon you think you can, like, sweep an entire team? You know what I mean?
I mean, like, 2 fast Mons in Cinccino and Mega Sceptile is not bad. I think Cinccino is a good Terra Captain.
Cinccino as a Terra Captain definitely helps this team out. Absolutely. That thing is a threat.
It's got Tidy Up too. You know, it says the only hazard control is Drift Blim. I'm trying to verify if that's true. I think Landorus T gets Defog, right?
Yeah, this
I
is
think the
Nat
Nat Dex.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh.
Nat Dex, so it does.
Hazard lists are not.
You also get
But,
ID Up technically is a form of hazard control.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So you have 3 forms of hazard removal. Some are more reliable than others, but it's there. It's there. The one thing that you guys might have missed too, I love the double teleport in Slow King and Arcanine. I don't think you guys have touched up on that
okay.
yet. I really like the double teleport, specifically with Arcanine. It's very rare to find a bulky fire type, and Arcanine not only being a bulky fire type, it can heal up through Morning Sun, and then it has momentum via teleport. This is a wonderful fairy check right here. This is a wonderful fairy check.
Yeah,
And that
Arcanine
slow
gets slept on,
momentum-
but it's honestly a very versatile mon. It can be an offensive threat. It can also very well be a defensive tool as well.
Yeah, I do like Arcanine. This team has a lot of versatility. I'll give it that. Like
My favorite fire type Pokemon.
It's got a lot
Love
of
that
bulk,
thing.
but a lot of things can also like be offensive. I also want to throw a nod to Chili Reception into Slush Rush Beartic. That's a fun option.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, what do you have for a well-played Beartic?
Exactly.
Like, I
People
also
never expect
really
the Beartic.
I don't know if I like it or if I hate it. I think I'm in the middle. I don't know where I'm at with this, but the Morgrim, Raticate, Alola E tiers, both of them being dark type.
Morgrim is a little grill staple. I think I mentioned this in general chat or one of the chats when we were drafting.
Okay, fair.
I've played with Grill in a few different leagues now.
They always
Over the past year or
every
so,
single season.
I always see this guy picking up Grill. I mean, I always see this guy picking up Morgrim.
Yep.
He made a good point in chat. He was like, "Yeah, more Grill."
Yeah, they should.
There you go. That's a free nickname.
That's what we're gonna call it from now on. The more grill.
It's a fair point. It's a very cheap Pokemon you can get that offers a lot of support for your team. You have the Prankster screens to set up. You get Taunt, Thunderwave, lots of just free support for relatively cheap. So I get it.
Yeah.
Like you're talking to a guy who's used
over here with the Prankster T-Wave. He's speaking my language over here.
Yeah, it definitely
like you're talking to a guy who's used Grimmsnarl for like the past like 6 or 5 drafts or something crazy like that. This is the first draft I haven't gotten Grimmsnarl in the longest time. It's because it's such a great Prankster support Pokemon.
Now that's why. Yeah, you have Tyranitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
but
more grill definitely works for them, but I don't understand Raticate Alola.
More grill. I love we're calling it that
Raticate,
now.
I don't think Raticate's good. I don't know, unless you can pull some heat off with Hustle.
Yeah, definitely some other Pokemon I think you could have grabbed with that.
Try to bring it.
Okay, you have Gluttony, Hustle. You have Gluttony, Hustle, and Thick Fat going for yourself. Raticate Alola.
Yo, beat the Hustle allegations.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Dude, just look at those stats, man. I don't know. But
yeah, that spread, like your highest stat is 80 SPNF. Yeah. Like, okay, maybe you could be AV Thick Fat, but that's like a hard maybe.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, this team. I'm kind of on the fence about this team because like it doesn't look terribly threatening. You know, like it doesn't scare me, but like I respect that it has a lot of bulk and versatility. So I'm like,
I think it's the versatility that's like keeping it afloat right now, right? Because like normally what we normally would say would be like a 6 or a 7, but that versatility, I think this is the most versatile team that out of the whole pool of teams that we've looked at so far. So I think the versatility alone might push this up to 8. I don't know.
Really?
I love me some Mega Sceptile too. Oh, this is tough.
I've used Mega Sceptile. I like Mega Sceptile. I don't know if I can.
Another cool thing that this team can do. Just want to throw this out there.
Yep.
Sceptile recently got Shed Tail. In Shed Tail, Cinchino.
Shed Tail Mega Sceptile is cool. That is cool.
Shed Tail Mega Sceptile. Oh man.
That is cool.
The possibility.
Possibility. Grill, You didn't know that one, or maybe you did. I don't know. Take down the notes, man.
Let me put you on game.
Bring some heat. Get your board grill in there. Set up screens.
Is this the
Get
third
Skeptile
7
in there, Shadtail.
This is the third what? 7 in a row, isn't it?
I was just about to say 7.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, Chief. I was gonna say 6.5.
Ooh. I'll meet you at 6.
We'll do 6.75. How's that?
Is this the team that gets 6 point? I was gonna say 6.9. Is this the team that gets the 6.9?
We can give it a 6.9.
You can go to 6.9. That's fine.
Right
outside that 7 mark.
I'll meet you at 6.9 out of 10. All right.
Nice.
Let's go to the Massachusetts Mews, coached by ETA legend Sly Robbie.
Slick Robert.
I like the Tuscaphy. I like the Tuscaphy. I wanted Tuscaphy to pair with Gen Megaterra. But you know what? I worked around it. I think you want to talk about versatility, right? We talked about how Lil Grill has versatility, the whole team. This is versatility, the Pokemon. Great Tusk, right here. You want it to be a wall breaker? You got headlong rush and CC. You want it to be a cleaner? Bulk up, rapid spin, dual stab. Cool. And you can throw in a little ice spin or two. Why not? Oh, you want hazard control? You can spin, you can knock off, you can set up rocks yourself. Okay? This guy, Great Tusk is versatility, the Pokemon right here. Okay? This is okay. Maybe I've had too much pizza, because what the heck?
Yeah, dude, listen, I love Great Tusk as much as the next guy, too. I do. I think it's a great model. This team actually also has a lot of versatility, and just like some good like natural bulk. You know, I like. I don't know. I like it. On paper, you know, I feel like it does maybe have a few holes, but I mean overall, I think
Lycanroc Dusk is a bit unnecessary, and
no,
Lycanroc Dusk to me is like, oh, I can't get a quality fighting type, so Lycanroc Dusk will be my fighting type.
No, I disagree.
That's how I see Lycanroc Dusk. You have Great Tusk already. I don't know why you gotta top on Lycanroc Dusk.
Bro, no
on
way.
top of Great Tusk.
I'm gonna hard disagree on that take and say that Lycanroc Dusk is a great complement to Great Tusk because of how well Ground and Rock work together offensively. And also Lycanroc Dusk is a good fast revenge killer for this team alongside Zoroark, because it is a little bit lacking in speed. But at 110,
May I remind you that the calcs on Honeclaw CC are more powerful than Stone Edge on neutral hits. May I remind you? May I just add that, just sprinkle that in
on
there?
On Lycanroc or on Tusk?
On Dusk, not Tusk.
Dusk and Tusk. Oh, that alone.
Oh, see, actually, yeah, that's actually gas. I didn't realize the rhyming.
He's pulling up with the Dusk.
That's what he was going for.
Yeah, dude.
He was like, "Yo, Dusk and Tusk, let's get it, baby."
Oh my goodness.
Let him cook, bro.
Things that we're gonna go transition from things that don't need to be together to things that actually need to be together, and that is Zoroark Hisui. And you want to know what's funny about Great Tusk, actually? Great Tusk learns, like, Psychic and Psyshock. And Zoroark Hisui also learns that. So
a lot of things on this team also learn Shadow Ball, if you take a look, like Jirachi, Sylveon.
Yeah.
I think even...
Rotom-Fan.
Yeah, Rotom-Fan.
Yep.
So that is a huge mind game right there, where normally, you know, Zoroark, it's kind of easy to identify just based off the moveset it's going for. This is very much a headache. Because if you see a Shadow Ball come out, you're going to be scratching your head being like, damn, like, I got to take a risk right now and go for this.
Mm-hmm. And normally with, like, Unova Zoroark, like, most forms of priority can, like, break through. But, like, with Zoroark Hisui, you have to rely on Sucker Punch. And Zoroark Hisui, unfortunately, also gets the plethora of setup moves such as Nasty Plot and Swords Dance. So good luck trying to win a Sucker Punch mind game against Zoroark Asui.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Look at that.
I think
Good luck with
Zoroark is a good mon to disguise as Great Tusk too, because like, you know, you see Great Tusk and you want to switch into like your bulky Psychic type or something, and then boom, catch a Shadow Ball from Zoroark. I think that can work out really well. I don't know how I feel about Terra Golisopod. I feel like Terra Golisopod is gonna.
Bro. Let me tell you something about Terra Golisopod, okay? Y'all banned low kicks, so this is the next best thing we got to deal with, okay? Now, what differentiates this from Araquanid, its other Alolan counterpart, is that yes, it does not get the sticky webs, but what it makes up for is the first impression. Banded first impression is going to hit coming off a Terra Bug banded Terra Golisopod. 125
that shit will hurt.
Back.
I definitely think it can provide some offensive pressure. The only thing I hate about this Pokemon, not even hate, it's not its fault. It's just emergency exit.
Yeah, I think
I don't understand what they were cooking with that. Where this Pokemon isn't broken enough to the point where they were like, we need to give it an ability that's going to hinder it and make it worse.
Well, I don't think it
there was no reason for that.
I don't think it always necessarily hinders it. It's just hard to use. It just is a difficult Pokemon to use well.
That's what I'm saying. It stinks, especially with the low spot. With the speed tier it has, it sucks because it's like you have enough bulk to take a hit and fucking smack someone back, but it's gonna kill all your momentum when you get hit, drop to 49, and you now have to switch, and you're like, fuck.
But it is a great pivot because of emergency exit. So if you Terra into the right Terra type to resist the hit and take it, and then you just get the emergency exit off, you get a free switch into either Zoroark or Lycanroc or whatever.
Yeah,
I suppose if you wanted to spin it and make it like a positive thing.
It has its moments. Emergency exit has its moments. It could really profit you, like as Mayo mentioned, or it could hinder you, like what Mike does, like what Mike said. So it's really a toss up.
Like what Mike does.
Yeah.
It's just hard to use. So I don't know how I feel about it. I also don't think like Scovillain is that good.
What is Scovillain doing here? What is Scovillain doing here?
Like,
There's no Sunsetter. There's no Sunsetter. What are you gonna be? Sunny day in freaking light. You have to set up your own sun and be chlorophyll. Moody's banned here. So what are you doing?
You're pretty sure you banned Moody, right?
Yeah, Moody and Power Construct are the only two banned abilities.
So yeah, like no other fire type and no other grass type is a little bit rough. I mean, like Cryogonal is a good hazard control.
I definitely see that pick more like a hole filler, being like, I don't have a grass type nor a fire type.
Yeah, but it just doesn't.
And I'm in the D tier, and no, because
I feel like that role could have easily been patched up by like a Leavanny or something, like because at least Leavanny gives you webs.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, provide some.
Or Lurantis with defog. There you go.
Yeah, because Cryogonal is there to provide defog and rapid spin. Because other than that, the only hazard remove was Tusk with spin, which you don't always want to rely on. I think that's a big flaw on this team. Well, I guess he also. That's a
waste of a Tusk. If you're putting it on spin duty, if you're putting Tusk on spin duty, it's like putting Terapagos on spin duty. It's like no. Those don't want to spin. They have spin, but you don't want to do that all the time.
Yeah, you don't want to always lock Great Tusk into spin duty. So, I mean, Rotom Fan is there too, but I think that's another flaw in this team. But I do like Sylveon Jirachi as good bulk. 2 good Wish Passers. Yeah, there's just a few holes.
You have Wish Passing to Tusk and Dusk and all this wonderful stuff that needs recovery.
That makes Tusk even more annoying, is you have very reliable recovery because Jirachi and Sylveon pair very well with Tusk. So just the thought of that thing getting more HP after you've taken the time to chip it away, that is going to be pretty annoying to deal with.
This is I think it's a 6.5. There's just pieces on this team that just doesn't make sense to me. Genuinely, I'm looking at the stuff. I'm looking at you, Scovillain. What are you doing here?
Yeah, we're looking at.
Why are you
We
here?
didn't even talk about.
Why are you?
Sliggoo.
We didn't talk about.
I like
Sliggoo.
Did we?
Bro, that's the ops. Bro, Sliggoo is more likely going to be Terrifier than Scovillain. Can we just talk about how Terrifier Sliggoo is going to be a more likely bring than Scovillain on this team? That's how down bad we are. That's how down bad we are when I'm looking at this. It's like, you have Sliggoo that can Terrifier. Why is Scovillain here? What do you provide? My brother in arms, you do not have a Torkoal, you do not have a Ninetales, you do not have a Vulpix. Why is Scovillain here? Riddle me this. Riddle me that. Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's literally that and the Lycanroc Dusk and those two alone is just those two are not I can't give this a 7. I can't give this a 7.
It's also missing a little bit of power, I feel like. A setup sweeper. I don't know. I guess like you can run Calm Mind Sylveon or bulk up Tusk. It's just like, but I feel like this.
You have a stored power Rachi at your disposal as well.
Yeah,
if
but
you
like
want to
Masterclaw Zoroark.
I just mean like immediate power. I don't know. Maybe with
immediate power. Immediate power. Have you ever tried to switch into a banded CC from Dusk or Tusk?
Fair enough.
You want to talk about immediate power?
Right. No,
The immediate power is it's just like when it's time to clean up, we don't have a broom in the shed. I think that's what the issue is here. We have the breakers, but we don't know how to clean up.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what Dusk and Zoroark are for. But yeah, I don't know. I'm fine with the 6.5 on this team.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Mike?
Lock it in.
All right. We're going to go to Sunbury Stunfisks, coached by...
Oh, no. We have to talk about evil.
Yeah.
There's evil among us.
So I've had Terra Comfy in my UNPL Academy days, and I've gotten 2. Well, it was more like I had one game where it got 4 kills, and then the other one was a giant 6-0 to end week 8. So Terra Comfy is not only like I had 3 types. I had to pick 3 types with Comfy, right? Mm-hmm. But this is free Terra.
Yeah.
And
this is full spectrum.
Oh man. Camel's gonna have fun with this one.
Yeah, no, I think Comfy's really good actually.
Oh man.
What do you know about Terra Wormadam though?
It can quiver.
Wormadam does something.
Gorbis is quiver. He gets access to all the forms too.
Gorbis also has Shell Smash. Like that thing could very well do something.
Very scary.
I don't know what moves it gets though. I don't know like what its move pool looks like.
It's not.
Well, I would imagine it would be your standard like. Yeah, I would imagine it would be your standard like water moves, ice moves for the.
Yeah, it's like water. It's like Surf Ice Beam. I don't even think it gets Terra Blast, but it's still threatening.
Well, that's unfortunate. No. I mean, base 114 special attack is nothing to scoff at, especially if you get a +2 boost from Shell Smash.
Mm-hmm.
This team has I mean, like Ogerpon Heartflame too, plus Crawdaunt. Like those are wall breakers.
Yeah. Absolutely. You have Mew, who is, as Eli describes, versatility, the Pokemon.
Yep.
It literally can do everything. Celesteela is always a fantastic wall, whether you want it to be a physical wall or special wall. It always does a good job at both.
It can be a cleaner.
And then you also have Mega Beedrill as well.
Yep.
I feel like Mega Beedrill is kind of like one of those Mega Pokemon not a lot of people talk about. I think it's a threat.
This is a threat. The Mega Beedrill is a threat. Like it can be a breaker like Ogerpon and Crawdaunt, or it can clean up with a little Fell Stinger action, and clean up that way. Oof. Oh man. Yeah. Also the low tiers after Comfy. Like, can we talk about how Druddigan, Rotom, and Girder are just low tier, like in the hazard department, right? You got Druddigan that can set up the rocks and the glare and the detail to rinse and repeat, right? Mm-hmm. You got Rotom Spook with stab, shadow balls, and hexes with defog and pain split. And then you got Girder, and you got Girder with guts. So like even if you don't feel like, canceling the T-Spikes with Mega Beedrill, you can just activate Guts you can just activate Guts with Girder, no problem. Oh man, this team. This team is better than Tranels. I'm gonna say it right now. I'm gonna say it right now.
Yeah, this
team is
On
scary.
Tranels specifically.
There's not a few things. There's not a ton of speed outside of Mega Beedrill because Ogerpon Hearthflame can't run an item, but it does have very strong priority with Draining Kiss and Aqua Jet from Crawdaunt. So there's definitely a lot of priority on this team. So, but revenge killing options are interesting. I do like the bulk between Mew, Celesteela, Donphan, which we haven't talked about.
Don't hate on Dawn Current. Love that guy.
You gotta show love to the OG, Tusk. The copper treads, right?
Dawn Current. You have Dawn Former, Dawn Current, and Dawn Ladder.
Mm-hmm. So this is the OG Dawn, the Dawn of all Dawns. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's not. I mean, there's decent bulk on this team, but it's not like a ton of bulk. I mean, Celesteela is pretty bulky. Mew can be bulky, but after that, and Donphan, the bulk doesn't run too deep on this team, and I don't think they're really
And that's the one drawback, right, of having Mew is okay, you need to make sure that you have the right amount of bulk and offense. It makes Mew more unpredictable that way. Yeah. But outside of Mew, the bulky pieces again are Selly, Donphan, maybe Druddigan, maybe Girder. So are you going to be locked into defensive Mew all the time? That's the biggest question mark I have with this team.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It might lean towards defensive Mew sometimes, because I also think this team lacks good momentum in terms of pivots with U-turn and stuff. There's not really good momentum on this team. Sure, Mega Beedrill, but Mega Beedrill's not coming in to take a hit, right? So, what's going to come in and take a hit and get momentum for this team? It's going to have to fight.
If Crawdaunt got flip turn, this wouldn't be a question. But unfortunately, like Mayo said, the momentum options are what? Volt Switch, Rotom, Spook, U-turn Mew, U-turn Hearthflame, U-turn Beedrill, and yeah.
Yeah, they're just not that great. There's good threats on this team. A lot of good offense, between Ogerpon, Crawdaunt, Beedrill, and the great Terra Captains, great setup sweeping Terra, the setup sweeping potential. You have three
Terras that can snowball into oblivion under the right matchup and day.
Even Wormadam.
If you can play it out right. Oh man. This is another 8 for me.
I don't know if I can give it. I'll give it a 7.5. I don't know if it's quite an 8, just because I feel the defensive stuff and the pivots is just not enough for me.
I raise you a 7.7. I raise you a 7.7 on that 7.5. How about that?
Sure.
On paper, I want to say a 7.5. However, I just know the talent that Camel carries, and that's not to discredit any other coach in this league. I think everyone in this league is talented in their own right. However, Camel is just such a creative team builder that I believe his talent kind of transcends the team itself, which makes me want to put it a little bit higher. Which makes me want to put it at an 8.
I'm trying to keep coaches.
But I guess if we're gonna keep bias out of it, I'll give it a 7.
Yeah, let's not gas Camel up too much already. He still has to beat me for once. All right, I'm 2-0 versus Camel.
Yup, that's actually true. That's factual.
All right.
But going off of what Mike said about the whole Camel and all the gimmicks and stuff like that, I think that's why Mew might pop off.
Yeah.
Usually when people get Mew, they kind of get overwhelmed by all the moves it can get and things like that, and they don't know what to do with it.
It's that double-edged sword where you draft it because you're like, oh, I can do anything with Mew, but then you actually have it on your team. You're looking at Team Builder every week, and you're like, wait, I can do anything with Mew.
Yeah.
And then you get confused because you're like, well, do I bring an offensive set? Do I bring a defensive set? Like, what the hell am I supposed to bring this week?
All right, I'm giving.
I also
7.7.
do think.
Yeah.
Okay,
Alright.
one last thing before we go to the next team. There is no Wish Passer, to my knowledge, and
Yeah.
Mew doesn't. And one of the few things that you need on Mew teams is Wish Passers because Mew does not learn Wish. So that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of saying. I feel like the defenses on this team are a little bit weak. I mean, it has some good bulk, but like, it doesn't really have a great defensive backbone. But
Yeah, the lack of recovery, of self recovery is the challenge.
True.
Is the challenge.
all right, let's move on. Let's move on to United with the DC Diancies. We're running out of time. We're already at like almost an hour and a half, guys. We got to wrap these up soon.
Oh my god.
I know.
All right, do you want to call the rest of the teams a 7? Call it a night?
No.
Just these 4 coaches, they're like, yo, what the fuck? What about my team?
So
All right, we'll keep it quick.
United is the defending ETA champion, pulling up with Mega Blastoise, Zero Aura,
Shell Smash legal.
Shell Smash,
Grimsnarl for screens.
Mega Blastoise. Okay. Grimmsnarl is there for support with screens. Zapdos, Galarian Zapdos is great. Fastmon too, like
Love that thing.
Galarian
Underrated.
Zapdos and Zero Aura are really good. Ferrothorn is here, like kind of awkwardly, I feel like, but Uxie is nice. Terra Drampa is really interesting.
Ooh, that's
Drampa
my
is just-
first criticism
Terra
of
Drampa
this
is just
team.
interesting to me. And then Palisade.
You need to put it on Crustle. I feel like you need to put it on Crustle instead of Drampa.
Yeah,
That might come back to bite you, bro. The Terra Drampa over Crustle might come back and bite you. Ugh.
Terra Drampa could be okay.
I kind of like the Crustle. Yeah, Drampa definitely could be okay, but I actually kind of like the Crustle. It has like a lot of bulk.
The difference is one can boost the speed in Terra and one cannot.
Yeah.
It's almost I'd rather take Palisand than Drampa actually. The more I look at it,
Actually,
the more I look at all the possible options.
Palisand would be kind of cool. Not gonna lie. The only
What about
type is
Audino?
Magmar, which I don't think is good. I like Audino. I don't really like Audino with Ferrothorn because like you're already weak to fighting, and so like, yes, you have Uxie, so I guess that's okay. But I don't know, like.
Yeah, but it's just Uxie.
Wait.
Actually,
Your
you're
fighting
only
resists on this team aren't looking too hot.
I mean,
On actually,
Uxie's solid, but like, and Palisand.
do you know how much things get knockoff, bro? In Nat decks, way too many. So Uxie is like, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be like a sitting duck that's just that just has to be thrown out there and pray that the fighting type doesn't get knockoff or U-turn or
Is it
whatever.
true that the only hazard removal on this team is Drampa with Defog, and I guess Blastoise with Rapid Spin?
You're not running at S
Rapid
plus.
Spin
You're
on
not
Mega
running
Blastoise.
spin.
Yeah, you don't want.
You're not.
You're running Shell Smash. And you're cooking.
Yeah, so I think that's. That's
I don't. Let me tell you if Zapdos G gets it. That'd be my only other guess,
That thing also
but I
doesn't
don't
have
know if it does.
I would have used it on Scarf
it doesn't.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
Nope.
So
Doesn't.
I think like,
Galatrio does not get defog. Nope.
Like you could hazard stack this team. Doesn't have a poison type either. So toxic spike.
Yeah, free T spikes.
Whoa. Maybe because bro, the top 5 were so good. The top 5 was a phenomenal start to this draft, and then from Uxie onward, it's just like, huh?
Yeah.
That's where it all fell off. Oh, that's where it all fell. Like the top 5, fantastic. Literally everything else is just like there's question marks all over the place. Like Relicanth is your Rockhead breaker. That's cool, but then like Magmar, I don't know what you're cooking with Magmar exactly, and then obviously I already gave my 2 cents on the whole Crustle is better than Drampaw, and Palisand's better than Drampaw. Yet Drampaw's the captain.
Also, like, look at the speed tiers on this team. Like, you've got to bring Zeraora to, like, revenge kill everything, or Scarf Zapdos. But, like, there's just huge gaps.
Look at that. Oh, man, that gap is massive.
Yeah, there's huge gaps on the speed tiers.
Oh, man.
I don't really like that.
You can parallel park an 18-wheeler in between Zeraora and Zap G for the speed gap. Good Dude. Oh, man.
There's actually gaps.
All right. 6.5 again. Oh, 6.5 again. I can't look at this team any longer.
I think
it has so much potential.
It can work offensively with, like, if it just has decent momentum too, but, like, I don't know, like, it kind of.
It's literally the Aurora's problem again. This team is forcing itself to be dual screens and then claim something with Zap G for Blastoise to win the game. That's what I see right now. I don't see any other play style with this team.
Yeah, I just think
I'm down to shake on that.
It can be very.
I definitely do think this is just another hyper offensive team.
You want to give it a 6?
I'd say it's bad. No, 6.5. You're gonna have Shell Smash Blastoise.
Shell Smash Blastoise will always give you a point or a half a point guaranteed.
1.5 points.
No matter
for sure.
No matter how bad the draft may seem, the Shell Smash Blastoise Mega is gonna bump up your score a little bit.
All right,
It'll always find a way to bump.
We're gonna go 6.5. Let's go to Adam and the Rolling.
The new guy.
The
new guy on the block from the Spheal Gibble League.
I've battled the dem a couple of times in back in my Radical Red phase of draft. This guy's filthy. This guy's filthy.
Oh, you guys actually have played together? Are you in SGBL?
No. I played it wasn't in SGBL where I played it. It was somewhere.
Oh.
I think it was Radical Residence that HGC hosted. But
him and his brother have a league. So shout out to the SGBL. Check those guys out. They're cool. Yeah, also, shout out to the PWC.
Shout out to the PWC.
I'm shouting out leagues. I also have to shout out the PWC.
Shout out to the PWC. Shout out to the SGBL. I agree. I think this team is good. Honestly.
I like Adam's team. I think Adam's team's really cool. Still pissed he stole my Earthworm.
Yep.
But I think his team's cool.
Chiyu.
I love Terra.
Great S tiers. I really like Zygarde.
That top 4, honestly, is a great little group of guys. Yeah. Chiyu, Zygarde, Scizor, Iron Hands, all fantastic Pokemon.
You got your Spinner and Blastoise. You got a Wish Passer and Florges. You got Terrakilo. You got Wormy. You got Wormy. Gotta love Wormy.
Wormy's just there. Sneasel's interesting. Wobbuffet is also interesting. Yeah, Wobbuffet is just interesting.
Man.
I think Sneasler provides this team with more speed. Because if you take a look at their speed tiers, you have Chiyu.
Yeah. This team also has good
not a whole lot that's pretty fast.
This team has good priority.
Yeah, you do have good priority with Bullet Punch.
And speed on Zygarde. So I think that's good.
But I think that's kind of why Sneasel is here.
Yeah. Yeah, Sneasel kind of rounds out some speed. But, yeah, I do.
Wobbuffet's interesting. Wobbuffet's also one of my lower-end Pokemon where I find very similar to Smeargle, where it's like if you understand the gimmick, it's so easy to beat. Even if you have the Shadow Tag and you're locking stuff in, what are you going to do if you get statused, or what are you going to do if they just substitute on you?
Yeah, but I do think it kind of
forces play that game.
I do think it forces prep, and that alone makes it decent.
Decent
because
enough.
You have Encore for the subs. Encore goes past through substitute. Yeah. You also have Safeguard for status. So it's not totally the end of the world. Wobbuffet just has to be, you just got to know how to use it. You just got to know when to bring it and how to use it. Because its main ways of dealing damage are through counter and mirror coat. So you just have, if you're able to be happy with that, then so be it. Yeah. I used Wobbuffet against Mayo not once upon a time. Like I trapped a crook. It was fun. Like
sometimes it'll just claim one. It'll just be a 1-for-1 trade. So it's not bad at all. I think
I also like the
I
Terra
will say-
captains on this team. I like Bill Lawson.
Very
and I like Golem.
excited. I'm very excited
me
to
too.
see the Terra caps on
Me
these
too.
because Blossom is a quiver dancer. Golem can be like rock polish or like if you don't want to boost speed, you can just hold a Custat berry and just boom.
I mean, Golem can just be a good.
It's also
defensive-
like a solid, defensive
Terra out of
wall.
its
You have
typing.
sturdy to count on, Terra away from your poor typing. Like, that thing can sit in front of people.
Yeah.
It's just Rhyperior at home. It's just Rhyperior at home.
Yeah, Blossom gets
You cut
quiver plus
Rhyperior at
Street
home.
Sap. That's like a pretty good setup option,
Yup.
Yeah, for
Yep.
sure.
So those are.
I wish it was a little bit faster. Base 50 speed's a little bit unfortunate to only get a, +1 boost.
I think like this team, like I'm not saying like I hate this team, but like I feel like if you drop something and add a sunsetter on this team would be disgusting. You're one sunsetter away from actually goobing people because you have Chiyu and Sun, you have Blossom with Chlorophyll, you have Weatherball Kilo at your disposal for steel types. This Sun would be really, really nice on this team. Like it would just push it from 7.5 to 8 for me if it had a sunsetter.
For me, this team would go from a 7.5 to an 8 if they didn't steal my Orthworm.
Oh no, not Wormy. Not Wormy.
Yeah, I don't really have too many bad things to say about this team. I think it's just good. It's just pretty solid.
Yeah,
overall.
I like Adam's team overall. I think it's one of those teams that's just pretty well balanced, versatile.
Yeah, I'm trying to find.
I'd probably give it like a
weaknesses.
7.5.
I don't really have. It's.
I don't know about the whole versatile part because Chiyu has one job and one job only, but like everybody else on this team has diverse roles.
Yeah. I mean, maybe momentum might be a problem, but he's got Scizor too. This
That's slow U-turn.
Momentum issues?
Yeah.
I don't think it
Iron
has.
Hands gets Volt Switch.
Oh,
Blastoise
true.
gets Flip.
I forgot Iron Hands got Volt Switch too.
Kilo gets both Volt and Turn, so
No.
Yeah, which is really nice. It gets the Zapdos treatment.
yep. It's funny because Zapdos is 100 speed, 125 special attack, and then Kilo is just flip-flopped. It's just, I'm going to be 125 speed now with 100 special attack. Good luck. Have fun. Lol.
Well,
All right, what Nail's probably going to lean towards the 7.5 as opposed to the 8 side if we're being honest.
We can go to an 8. I'm okay with going to an 8.
Wow.
I was
Wow.
going to stick by
Feeling
7.5.
generous.
Do you want to go?
Respectfully and
generous.
truthfully.
You want to go 7.7, 7.75?
This is an
7
ETA Power Rankings
point-
video. Everyone's getting at least somewhere near a 7.
You're getting between
Yeah.
a 6 and a 9, and you're gonna like it. All right.
Very nice.
Except,
Very-
I think there's one team we once gave a 4 because it was that bad, but that's fine.
It wasn't my goat Sherry Davis, was it?
No, it wasn't Sherry Davis. It was fucking Pokemonius or whatever.
Shout out to Pokemon.
Oh, if it was Eruption, then that guy deserved it 110%.
It wasn't Eruption either.
All right.
Dang.
Super Bench.
Anyway,
Super Beans.
Super Bench, coach of the Pripyat
Super
Persians.
Beans.
Um,
Wait, hold on. Where is your hazard removal for a Mega Pinsir team? It's just Court Change Ace?
it's got Weezing.
Or no.
You got Wheezing. You got
got-
Wheezing. Wheezing packing that defog pack.
But yeah, Weezing is
Okay, but
Weezing's
no
got the
Spitter.
defog.
Weezing's
Oricorio's got defog too, but Oricorio's more just your offensive special
You
attacking.
are Terra
super quiver.
Oricorio and you're running defog? You should be ashamed of yourself.
That's what I'm saying.
Shame.
It's probably not coming, but you do have Wheezing to fall back on and Cinderace, which honestly does help this team a lot because Mega Pinsir is a very big threat. But you gotta get rid of them rocks.
Guys. Hold on, I apologize.
Oh, tidy up.
Tidy up for it. I
You're right.
apologize.
I was talking about
Okay,
that
so-
Cinchino earlier, which I realized that.
So I was scared that Mega Pinsir was taken without decent hazard removal, and so I apologize.
But we've got
You
to
have
for it.
You have 2.5 good hazard control
Removal.
bonds. Yeah. Yeah.
You have Cinderace, which is a classic. It's very good. Blood Moon Luna is very scary. It's kind of just like regular Luna, just on the special side where it's like, yeah,
No, it
switch
gets
something
priority.
in.
It gets priority vac wave. That's the difference. If
It does get vac
regular
wave.
if regular Ursaluna had Mach Punch, it'd be a different story. But this
Oh my
this
god, yeah,
Ursaluna
that'd be
has-
scary.
Yeah, this Ursaluna gets vac wave, so that's the main difference of why it's. Because what do you have regular Luna at like A plus?
They're both the same. They're both the same.
No, they're the same.
Yeah.
They were
like
the same.
On the tier list, yeah. I think the combination of Mega Pinsir and Blood Moon Ursaluna is a very nice wall breaking combo, on the physical special side.
Because of the steel, because Pinsir hates steel types, right?
Yeah.
Pinsir hates steel types, so Blood Moon just says F you to that. And and like if you run into the Skarmory, the Corv, or the Celesteela, you have Ace that just says hi.
Yep.
Just have Ace.
So
Exactly,
Pinsir-
to complement that, which is really nice.
And Reuniclus is there, ignores hazards and stuff, gives it some more bulk alongside Ursaluna, and obviously Weezing.
3 wonderful abilities for Reuniclus. We got Overcoat, Magic Guard, and Regenerator.
Yep.
Very
All
nice.
really
abilities.
useful.
Kingdra is cool,
And they're
but
only-
I feel like it's just kind of awkward. I don't really know why Kingdra is here, but I mean it's cool. I like Kingdra. I think it would
It's
have been
the
cool
same
to see
reason
Kingdra
why
back.
Skull Villain was on the other team. It's like you're here without your weather friend. Why?
Yeah, I mean,
What are you gonna be? Skull Blend
Just to fill
Sniper?
the water gap, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. We can set up. We can Dragon Dance and do stuff.
Yeah, you can get the
I mean,
Dragon
Duraludon's-
Dance and stuff like that.
Duraludon's already here too to provide a Dragon type, so I don't know. And I don't
That's the thing. When it comes to Dragon
Yeah,
type, I'm like, you have
Duraludon
the
would be
Duraludon,
more of
which
your
is really
dragon
good.
type, I feel like. Because Bastiodon's going to be your bulky steel that can Terra. Good luck trying to find body press switch-ins for Bastiodon. That's all I
Yeah,
gotta
this
add.
team has really good defensive tools. You have the Weezing Galar, which is a really good physical wall. You have Duraludon. Duraludon and Weezing Galar in particular, I honestly think pair together very well.
Actually, low-key, yeah.
Yeah.
And with Duraludon
Like-
holding a Violite now, we can actually, it might be able to live a special attack and mirror code it back.
I just
Who knows?
But I don't think there's that much defensive utility on this team. I don't know. Duraludon's not really a defensive Pokemon.
If Kingdra was a bulkier water type, that would solve all the problems.
If Kingdra was a bulky water, like a Vaporeon or something, that would be so
Oh.
nice.
Man, that would solve literally all the problems.
I agree.
But alas.
I think you could definitely do that though with Bastiodon. I think that's where Bastion comes in, where it's like you have the Terra on it, so you could run really good defensive Terra typings like water or something like that on this to take hits.
Yeah, I'd love to
If you
see
look at those
Bastiodon.
defensive stats, that shit goes hard.
'Cause,
It's literally just its 4 times weakness to fighting that's holding it back.
So in addition to the Terra-fighting body press, now you might laugh at the 52 attack, but that 52 attack is actually going to be really useful because it now gets foul play. So you run foul play on the ghost types that want to switch in on said Terra-fighting body press. So that Bastiodon is actually on the rise. Bastiodon is finally getting the love it deserves. And
Yeah, it's
we're
a
all here for
solid E-tier Terra Captain. I think of all the Terra Captains we had.
I do like Bastiodon. My gripes with this team is just it doesn't really have good enough defense. I feel like because you already have a lot of offense, wall breakers, and setup sweepers between Pinsir, Ursaluna, great wall breakers, Cinderace is great speed, Oricorio is a great setup sweeper, and then with all that, what is Kingdra gonna do? Are you really gonna find a place to bring setup sweeper Kingdra in between all of those?
Oh, no, there's sweepers.
And same thing
Probably
goes
not,
for
which is why I think a good water type would be good there.
Same
I
thing
also
goes
kind of
for
have a gripe with Dusknoir on this team. I
Like,
feel
I-
like we could be doing better than Dusknoir. I get you need, that fighting answer for Luna and Duraludon.
Like
But
I understand you can bring Misty Surge plus Unburden Sceptile, but like, come on, like you already have so many like different offensive tools. Like, are you really gonna do that? I don't know. You're better off just like finding more opportunities to set up with Oricorio or like set up with Pinsir, and find different ways to sweep. You already have so many different ways to sweep. Just like you need more utility. Like that's
Okay. So Kingdra is at a B-, and there is a bulkier water in the B- tier, and his name is Seismitoad.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, I lied. There's two. There's also Araquanid. So you had Araquanid and Seismitoad at your disposal to fix some defensive capabilities, but you chose Kingdra. Just putting that out there. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, I don't know. This team's not bad. It's just I don't think it can really. If it doesn't get going, it's just not going to hold up.
Araquanid would fit this team because of webs.
Webs would be nice.
Like,
I mean, you already have a bug.
Webs would be nice.
Webs would be nice, but I think it's a little scary if you're playing the court change game too.
That's true. If you are relying on court change, that is not.
Because if you got to count on your court change, do you really want to bring those webs back your way?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say.
I also want to throw a nod to Trick Room Reuniclus into Blood Moon Ursulina.
Yeah, that is also very intimidating.
That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I don't think it's like Crest where it can like Trick Room and then Healing Wish or have momentum out.
That's true.
I don't think it gets teleport, but
Yeah, I don't think
it's
so.
nice. Well, it's nice to be Life Orb, Magic Guard, and have Trick Room 3 attacks and just start.
You're chilling. It gets explosion.
It gets explosion.
That's gas.
For Uniclus, yep.
So you just
Our main goal is to blow up
Super bench.
and then act like I don't know nobody.
Okay, it has 65 base attack, but then like you're also getting a clean Blood Moon in TR. So
Yep. You know what you need to do. Super
Fair
bench.
trade.
You gonna guess?
All right.
fair trade.
All right.
6.5, 6.
Yeah.
Respectfully, a
6.5.
3 probably.
Um,
Nah,
Super
yeah,
beat.
like a 6.5.
Super beats.
I'll say
Emphasis
6.
on the beat.
I'm thinking closer to 6.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Lock in a 6. Let's get through these last 3 teams.
Oh, there's still 3 more. Oh my gosh. Okay. The Winnipeg Dragapults, Coach Mayasha Indigo.
Our Manitan Galler op.
Darmji, Carton.
This team is a whole op for me, bro. You took 2 Terra captains in E tier for me, bro. What? Like, why? Why are you like this?
Electro, you got Swalot.
Terra
I really
Cleavor's
like
nice.
Terra Cleavor. That is honestly
You
pretty
had
cool.
Terra Rabombi potential to Quiver Dance, but no, you wasted it on Cleavor. No, you're a whole
I just
op.
noticed the triple bug on this team.
I
You're
noticed
a
that
whole
too. It's not that.
I've
great.
never seen a
Cleavor
team
is
this
terrible.
bugged up.
I just want to say.
One
Hey,
of the-
Cartana too?
Can I just say
Yo,
one thing?
okay, hold up. Yep. I think I know what you're going to say.
This team has 2 Pokemon with over 180 base attack.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
there's that.
Wait. Oh, there it is. I was like, wait. Oh, yep. I thought Darm was the one that
and then
had.
there's Darm as well. So
Wait a minute.
Like guerrilla tactics.
Heracross got Trailblaze. Wait, this is a slight problem. Because Heracross gets Trailblaze now.
but then there's just like
So-
not a lot of special wall breakers. I mean, there's Dirge, and I guess Farigiraf. So I don't know.
What? You're calling Farigiraf a special breaker?
I'm trying to be generous.
Heck no.
I'm trying to
No,
be generous.
the
What
best
happened to being
special
harsh?
breaker on this team is Terra Electrode. You get Terra Blast Ice on top of your Stab Electric
Yeah,
boost.
that's
This is
easy.
Reggie Alecki, and I was robbed.
Swalot is gas though. Stuffed cheeks.
Yeah, that thing is
Yeah,
super
it gets
cool.
Main Split now. It gets Encore. Like it can be a fat Could be a fat gooby goober.
I honestly think this team is pretty decent.
I like this team. I think it may have a trouble against like some pretty decent fire types because besides Dirge and I guess Rotom, like it's taking on these fire types.
I mean, Dirge Rotom.
The Terra Captains.
But like a defensive fire type, yeah. I don't know. Breaking that might be hard.
Or how about this?
Look at
what about
Scarf
a Skull
Zap
Villain?
Look at Scarf Zap G or Banded Zapdos G versus this team. Where's the switch-ins? Where are the switch-ins? Tell me, where are the switch-ins to Banded Zapdos Galar for this team?
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
I mean, you could say that about where's Flamigo, dude? We're just saying the same thing with Flamigo, you know.
No, because the difference is like Rune is there, like Flamigo only gets throat chop for Rune, whereas like Zapdos actually gets knockoff. That's the actual difference. That's the actual difference.
Rune Rig is just cool. I don't know. This team's like alright, I guess. Like I don't really have.
I'm giving it a 6 because you stole my 2 Terra Captains. Like, who are you? You're a whole op to me. That's why you're getting a 6 out of me. You literally are a whole op and a half, bro. Your Bull Beam core is Darm G and Terra Electrode. I don't want to hear it, bro.
Like you need to run a Scarfer. You need either Darm or Kartana to be scarfed, right? Like you kind of need.
What? There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that, though. There's nothing wrong with that, though.
No. And I mean, you have Sticky Web support from Rimbombi.
You have Sticky Web support, so now those 2 Scarfers that you mentioned can be banded.
Banders, yep. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm still giving it a 6, though. You took my Electro, man.
This is another hyper offensive team. I'll give it a similar score. Anyone want to take a dice roll guess what it is?
I'm getting tired.
Because it's a 7.
I'm just like, let's give it a 7.
The default answer.
I just don't have too much to really say about it. It's just like fine. It's not bad. There's not too many flaws, at least that I can see now. So
you have 3 bug. You have 3 bug types. Like what are you, a bug catcher?
It's true. You do have 3 bug types.
You're asking
bug catcher Yasha.
You're asking to lose to like freaking Gale Wings
Fire.
Talon Flame.
Yeah,
like
my biggest.
Actually, no one picked Gouging Fire,
which is surprising.
It was one of the biggest ops, and he's still on the free agency list.
My biggest gripe with this team is just that it's all physical and like barely special. For like, other than that,
there's some versatility in there.
Fine.
Actually, now that I'm whatever, I don't care. We already shook hands on 7.
Yeah, let's just go. Let's just go to. Go to the.
Tie the guy.
Glasgow Glowbros.
Okay. I've seen. Okay, the amount of times I've seen Sneasler, Rillaboom, in Wi-Fi is just too much, and I can understand why.
They think they're
They're 2 peas in a pod, man.
We get it.
Bro, like
you want to run Grassy Seed. It's all
Grassy Seed and Burden, man.
It's so good. It's one of those
that's
things.
what I'm saying. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
This team is also heavily physical. Aside from
Nidoqueen?
What, Nidoqueen? Executor?
Yeah, you have Nidoqueen.
I know.
Executor.
If Alola Egg was the Terra Captain, then maybe the special attacking would be up there. Maybe the special attacking would be up there. Because you just Terra Fire out of your ice weakness and just start wailing.
I do like Executor on this team though, with the grassy terrain, boosted grass moves.
Nasty.
Yeah, my favorite.
And if you get the Trick Room with Bronzong in grassy terrain.
You have the good old Trick Room Explosion.
How do we feel about Terra
into?
What are we doing with Terra?
Okay,
are we just all in on a grassy seed? Are we just grassy seeding everything?
Here's the problem with Slurpuff. You would think that Belly Drum into Terra would be wonderful. However, because Slurpuff is not in Paldea, therefore it does not have access to Terra Blast. So the coverage on Slurpuff to Belly Drum win isn't really there.
I mean, you don't always need coverage to get the Belly Drum win, though. If you get the safe Belly Drum off with a defensive Terra, like, you might just need Play Rough Drain Punch and be fine.
That's probably why Bronzong is on this team, because Bronzong literally sits on those two exact moves you just mentioned.
Yeah. But, I don't know.
I honestly would have loved to seen Executor get the nod for the Terra Captain.
That would have been
like really good natural bulk and good special attack. I also think it does get Terra Blast. So
yes, Alola Egg does get Terra Blast.
I don't.
Yeah, dude, like that would have been a sick ass Terra Captain.
I don't really.
Like, I would really fuck with that. It also gets Moonlight for recovery. I never knew that.
Executor does.
Oh, Synthesis.
Online too.
Synthesis.
Alola Egg
Synthesis.
Okay.
Yep.
You also have Moonlight. Like, this thing has a good move pool.
Why be rated so low? You know, one thing I don't like about this team is I don't know if I agree with Mega Gyarados. Like.
No, I don't agree with Semipour. I think you take Semipour out, you put Vulpix in there, and you got your Sunsetter. Now Alola Egg can like harvest every single time. Now Darmanitan gets sheer force boosted flare blitzes. You catch my drift, fam.
I hear you. Like Gyarados kind of needs Earthquake for coverage, but like grassy terrain, you know. So there's that.
The other thing with Gyara that we're not paying attention to, like you're talking about, more importantly, I think the grassy terrain would benefit Gyarados because back in its Galar days, it got Power Whip, and this is Nat Dex. So if you just DD and Power Whip and land in grassy terrain, those bulky waters aren't bulky anymore. Let's just keep it a stat.
That's true.
Let's just keep it a stat. I will say, though, I think this team will struggle with bulky waters if they're not chipped down enough because Electros and Morpeko, even if it's Terra, I don't think it's enough to break down bulky waters. Especially if literally the easiest way to check a Rillaboom is grab a flying type.
Yeah, also,
grab a flying type and you're done.
Also, Rillaboom and Gyarados don't want to switch to Scald.
No, I don't. You gotta do Seasler. You don't want to get burned.
So
that's the other thing. A lot of things on this team don't want to switch into a Scald. That's why I would like to see like a bulky water type like Eli's talking about on this team. Like, what's available in the A tier you could swap that Gyarados with? Maybe like a Suicune? Like a Suicune in A tier?
Bro, I was helping Ty draft his team, and his original pick was Mega Aerodactyl. It got sniped. I tried to tell him to get Hydreigon, but he was like, no, I want Mega Gyarados. But I still think Hydreigon would fit on this team nicely.
Yeah, Hydreigon would be a really cool addition. You have the Levitate for Sneasler. You also have the Dark type to now resist the Psychic move for Sneasler. I actually like that a lot. I think that'd be a really cool addition for this team.
A+ bulky waters. You had Milotic and Dondozo on the board.
Would have loved either of those two.
Yeah, either of those would have been really cool on this team too. A Hydreigon or one of those two. Actually, maybe more melodic than Dondozo because his team's already pretty physical.
There's just already a lot of physical offense on this team, and like, when is Mega Gyarados gonna get the setup opportunity? I don't know.
Hey man, don't sleep on DD Fire Blast, bro. That shit knocks out Ferrothorn back sideways, bro. Don't sleep. Don't sleep.
I won't.
Don't sleep.
But the rapid spinning is a little bit weak too. I mean, like the hazard control. I mean, like.
Oh, your two rapid spinners are so mid.
Like,
yeah, your two rapid spinners are. Don't get me wrong. I love me some Kamala, but you're not.
Cool, but like, you know, you're not relying on more Pico for rapid spin. You're just not.
Yeah, you're putting all your eggs in the Kamala basket to spin, which is funny because there is an egg right below Kamala, and that's the Alola one. Huh? Funny how that works, but Like, this one's also a 6.9. I think it's a nice team. It's just like 1 or 2 mons away from being great. It's
I'm
1 or
thinking
2
it's a
mons away
6.
from.
It's got some holes.
I know you like the sound of that.
What do we
I would
got?
shake upon that.
6.
Mike, you want to chime in on
6.5?
the whole comment there? No.
No, I'm not actually let that one slide.
All right.
You gonna let that? Okay.
So you're saying 6 point.
Okay.
We got a 6.9.
Yeah, I'll lock in a 6.
All right, you'll lock in a 6. All right. We got the last team.
Definitely think we could make some roster moves to make this team a little bit better.
The last team here is the Brittany
Bonjour.
Brambleghasts, coached by Bonjour, aka the Pokemonia Slayer.
Yes.
Study up on your ETA.
How-
If you don't get that one.
The one who delivered the dagger. Oh, this is the team that stole Walrun from me and 6 other people apparently. It's fine. I got Dugong.
This
I
team,
love Crocolore. I don't know how Crocolore was E-, but it was. So I'm glad somebody scooped that
Because it
up.
doesn't get Torch Song, and it also doesn't get... What else doesn't it get?
Slack off. Or maybe
Slack
it does.
off, so...
It gets slack off. What are you guys on about?
I don't know. I literally drafted Crocolore last season. I dropped it after week 2, so. But anyway.
I don't know. Y'all are just not Terra. Y'all just not using Terra Water and Fairy enough. Clearly.
Well, I couldn't Terra.
Apparently not.
I think it could
It does get slack off.
And Terra Blast. Terra Fairy with Terra Blast plus fires actually could be good.
I don't think Iron Crown is worth an S tier. You're burning an S tier on Iron Crown, and you're not bringing psychic. You're not bringing psychic terrain. You're bringing electric terrain instead, and that electric terrain setter is Pincurchin.
Bro,
I don't think Iron Crown is an S tier.
Iron Crown gets Quark Drive. Like Iron Crown is like what is making or breaking this team right now.
It's either going to be
a
demon or it's going to be super mid. No in between.
I agree.
I've seen the Crown put in lots of work.
I feel like there's.
I know a lot of people lately have been running the Assault Vest set. I've also seen a lot of people running the Weakness Policy Agility sets with the stored power. All of it's pretty gas. I really like the addition of the Pink Urchin to get the Quark Drive boost on this team.
Yeah.
You have the Terra Captain Raichu Alola. You're relying on the electric terrain, but I kind of fuck with the pieces you got.
I mean,
you have a really good defensive tool in Tangrowth.
Yeah, I think that's
Tangrowth is very reliable.
Yeah, but you're relying it heavily on the defensive side. Like the Spadef pieces on this team are Aromatits and freaking Walrein. Clay, you're calling Claydol a Spadef piece?
I mean, I'm just looking at the special defense column.
Look at that base 120. That thing's fat.
Oh, look at how many weaknesses it has, though. I don't care if it has levitate.
I mean, I feel like
it's weak to knock off and U-turn. Like those are 2 common moves.
Let's not ignore Palafin at the top here, all right, and pretend like this team is relying.
I never ignore the Dolphin.
This team is not relying on electric terrain. It's a great piece. Like electric terrain is a great option.
It's a tool in its arsenal.
Like obviously,
the Dolphin is the centerpiece.
Exactly. Like I think Palafin is going to be the star of the show, and like Iron Crown, of course, can come and do stuff. But like if Pink Urchin comes and brings electric terrain support for Raichu and Crown, then it's just even more. Also, Mega Aerodactyl is great. It's just super fast. So there's
solid lead. You get Taunt, Belt Rock, opposing leads. Yeah, you get DD to be a really scary offensive sweeper.
But yeah, I do
got potential.
I do see what you're saying though. Like I would have liked to see maybe another defensive piece to complement Tangrowth.
Yeah, because Aromatisse is not doing it. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, Aromatisse is not doing it. Like people see Aromatisse and be like, "Oh man, I forgot to draft a fairy with Wish," and like Sylveon and Florges are gone. I'm gonna just scoop this up. That's what Aromatisse is. It's not sloppy seconds; it's sloppy thirds.
Yeah, Flygon.
Like, look at it.
I feel like Flygon is a little awkward to be on this team. Like, I like Flygon a lot, but like, you don't really need any more revenge killers. You have Palafin with Jet Punch. You have Mega Aerodactyl and Alolan Raichu. And like, you know, if anything, this team needs a little bit more bulk and like utility. Flygon is just kind of there.
Yeah, like a nice bulky Pokemon on the special side could have been nice out of the B- tier instead of Flygon. I definitely think that is one thing holding this team back.
The same kind of goes for Tauros. Like, I don't know. I guess you needed a fighting type, so it's good to have, but I don't know.
Is it? Wait, it wasn't Terra. No, it wasn't Terra. It wasn't Terra Tauros.
No.
You're a Terra Raichu Alola, and that I'm okay with. That I'm okay with.
Yeah. No, I think Terra Raichu was good. This team is definitely not bad. I think, like I said, I think Iron Crown is gonna make or break this team. There's gonna be some weeks where Iron Crown does nothing, and there's gonna be 1 week where it 5-0 sweeps. So.
And then that's it. Yeah.
We're all gonna be applauding and cheering. We're gonna be like, "Yes, Iron Crown, way to go!"
Yeah. Did it get picked up in fantasy? Because that's a real hit and miss mon right there for fantasy.
That's gonna be a great segue once we read this team.
6.7. 6.7.
I'm thinking this is just about at a 7, baby.
I raise you a 6.9.
6.9.
I like that.
6.9 out of 10. Lock it in. All right, before we close out this video, we got to take a look at the fantasy teams and make our prediction for who we think is winning fantasy this year. All right, let's just go through each team. We've got Pokemon 2, coached by Gamer Guy Ev. All right, Annihilate.
The previous champion.
So it's the previous champion. Cyclizar, Skarmory, a little funky. I don't know how I feel about that, but other than that, definitely holds some promise.
Listen. I wasn't able to speak on my team because I had to go pick up my deep dish pizza from Little Caesars. Okay, but let me tell you something right now. Cyclizar is not a shed tail bot. It can do other things. Trust.
Yeah. You didn't even hear what we said about your team, but that's good. Okay. Patchy Champ, coach of the Chicago Cub Chews, I feel like has a decent chance here. Doubling up on the Tranel Mons, that's okay.
Yep.
Galisopod,
Channel support.
Interesting. We'll see if
the Galisopod. I don't know about the Galisopod pick there.
Big trust.
Aegis/2, so we'll see. I don't know. Mew, we'll see. Michelle Haley, obviously getting Torterra. Torterra's got a lot of expectations this season.
Because it was fantasy. It was the fantasy champion. Torterra was the fantasy champion individually. So we'll see if it'll do things for Michelle Haley or not in the fantasy world.
Doubling up with Torterra and Dracozolt, and doubling up with Crawdon Ogerpon. Gonna be rooting for two coaches this year. But decent team. I feel like this team has a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Michelle.
Shout out to Michelle.
She's real. I promise all of you.
She's not fake.
Just everyone in chat being like, "Yo, this is so sus." Just everyone being like, "This is so sus. I don't trust this."
Okay. Oh my god.
Campbell goes, "Yeah, my girlfriend Camila convention."
Han to me.
The North Korean Wayskin might be the best draft league logo I've seen.
Best team logo, I gotta say. Love that logo.
I love the flag. Representing North Korea proud, Blaziken. Way to go.
Caked up too.
You said it, not me. You said it, not me. Okay, I don't know if Michelle's gonna listen to that part, but we'll figure that out when the time gets there.
No, we're good. Nobody
Palafin, Mega Aerodactyl. Okay, took my Val as well. Okay, We got something in store special for
I like all the Pokemon on this team. The only one I don't like is Lando. Like Lando.
I thought he was gonna say
probably the
Val. I was
offensive
like,
op.
yo.
Oh, what
Yeah,
the hell?
Lando's hit or miss.
Just Lando.
Lando's hit or miss.
Lando is more like a defensive tool.
Yeah, and
Not
also
really an
Mega
offensive
Beedrill.
op that's gonna pull it.
Even Scizor too.
I raised you, gravity earthquake, sir.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know that's a thing, but like, how many times do you really see that? I feel like every time I play a Lando T team, they're bringing Intimidate, Rocky Helmet, and I'm like, classic, let's go. Yeah.
Also, Mega Beedrill might not come all the time, so that one could be hit or miss. But,
Never know, but I do respect the double bug.
I mean, Palafin, Iron Val, even Mega Arrow is pretty great. How about the Red Lord himself?
Go Rams.
Go Rams. Sneasler, great.
Sneasler, Chanpao, Victini, Cortana, easy. Yep. This is my team that's probably gonna. This is the fantasy team that's probably gonna win, in my opinion. You have 6 reliable hitters. One of them's gonna pop off.
Yeah, I know.
If not 2.
Yeah, all really good offensive tools.
These are all great offensive tools. All great revenge killers too. That's the thing. That's kind of the key here. Is that they're all good at picking up kills. So I like that.
Yeah, once everything's pretty low.
Yeah.
Go Rams. All right, let's talk about Ludwig.
Go Rams.
The Holy Blade.
All right, we're going straight down.
Shout out
we're
to
going
the
straight
El
down.
Paso
Whoops.
Embers. Yeah, we're just going straight down.
Whoops.
So
Holt, Darmg, Flygon, Zeraora, Swampert, Tyranitar. Holt is the 50-50 mon here. It's either gonna pop off or do nothing. No in between. Darmg, it's a good breaker, but I don't know if it's gonna show up in the kill column.
I
don't know.
Darmg's a great revenge killer. Swampert is like, yeah, I don't know. Swampert's cool, but like, I don't know.
Or
If it was
same
Mega-
as Lando, where it's like
the
more
Swampert, then
defensive
I
too. Yeah.
respect the Prip. If it was a Mega Swampert, I would respect it more. But this is a regular Swampert. This regular
Exactly, it's just regular.
Yeah, this Swampert,
Flip,
I don't think
Stealth Rock. You're not going to see too many kills out of it.
I think Dragapult, Darmanitan, and Zeraora are all top players.
Oh, for
yeah,
sure.
those 3 are gonna hard carry the.
Yeah.
I'll try and cook with T-Tar Ludwig. The last time I had T-Tar in Season 3, I had 9 kills with it.
T-Tar
Never know.
Stuff. You never know.
Maybe we'll see it again.
All right, let's talk about our favorite Strong Bidoof.
Yep.
Terapagos, another 50-50 mon. Oh boy.
Yeah,
glorified rapid spinner.
I really don't know how good Terapagos is going to be. So, some say it's a glorified rapid spinner. Some say it's S+ tier. I don't really know where it stands. So, same thing goes with King Gambit. Last season, it was the first overall pick in fantasy, and it got like 2 kills all season, and it was pretty garbage.
1 kill. Came to 2 games, got 1 kill.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's wild.
Orcorio is also very hit or miss. Like it'll probably get 1 Quiver Dance sweep, maybe 2, but like there's gonna be a lot of games.
Hey, I got 1 Quiver Dance sweep in fantasy. Okay, don't disrespect.
There you go.
I think Zapdos is a good
fantasy
pick. I like Zapdos. I like Ambipom as a fantasy pick. Revavroom is also hit or miss too. Like Revavroom and Orcorio, the Terra captains, they're either gonna sweep or they're not gonna do anything, in my opinion.
I'll let them cook.
So
yeah, that team's the most interesting because there's like this is mono 50-50 here. You're either gonna there's no real it's Pandora's box, right? Like you don't know if it's gonna get 5-6 kills or if it's gonna get 0 with this team. This whole team is just like, is it gonna do anything or do nothing at all?
Yeah,
you don't know.
All right.
Or you F around and find out.
All right, Davis pack.
Our favorite draft league coach, Cherry Davis.
My goat!
Dude, doubling up on the Orlando Yellow Magic with Mega Glalie and Beyond.
As he should. Listen, Mega Glalie. Listen, Mega Glalie has been a staple since the FPE days, bro. So I'm glad Sherry Davis remembered that. I'm glad Sherry Davis remembered that. Oh man, and Terra Yan Mega. It's Mega Yanma. And it can Terra. Come on. Can't go wrong with that.
King's gas. Got to give it to you. I don't know how I feel about the Steeler though. That's like the one pick. I remember Davis actually sent me his. Davis sent me his picks, and I was picking for him while he was at work.
Yeah.
And I saw the Celesteela one, and that's the only one I like really raised my eyebrow. I was like, "Bro, you sure about this?" Like,
nah, bro. I raise you a power herb and a meteor beam.
Yeah, like autonomized meteor beam. Like it's possible, but like,
yeah, bro.
I don't know how often we're gonna see that.
Yeah, I mean, Crocodile's a nice mon too, but like, does it have the star power, man? I don't think so. Let's be honest.
Knowing
Crocodile was one of Davis's backup
Trannel, it's gonna run the Scarf Moxie set 1 week, and then all the other weeks it's gonna be an Intim Rocks.
Yeah.
Knowing Trannel.
Also Vivillon. I mean, come on, Vivillon might get 1 sweep this season, maybe 2. I don't, it's not gonna come to every game. It's not gonna come to most games, I would say.
It's the Oricorio problem. It's a Terra Quiver Dancer that's either gonna get 5-6 kills or 0. You're shaking dice here. You're shaking the dice here.
So yeah.
You're shaking the dice here.
Right,
I gotta step up. If I don't do well this season, at least I gotta step up for my goat and just pop off with Yan Mega. Something. I gotta do something.
You gotta do something. All right, Cyber Gamer, the Pennsylvania Parish Singers. Love the Iron Boulder. I mean, Iron Boulder's gonna be a great pick. Let's be honest.
Of course you love the Iron Boulder. You're the one that drafted
Love the Iron Boulder.
You love the Iron Boulder.
Can I just say something?
Love the Lopunny Mega.
Can I just say something? It's not just a boulder. It's a rock.
It's a rock. I understand that.
Oh my gosh. Anyways.
Oh shit. What?
Anyways,
I think collectively we should all like this team because Cyber's got one from each of us.
Yo, that Pyroar! Oh man, I have so many crazy Pyroar sets ready. Oh, geez.
Pyroar is crazy. I don't know why he drafted Pyroar. I like Zygarde and I like Mega.
Trust the process.
Nah. See. There's this. Oh my gosh, the amount of sound moves Pyroar gets. It's. Oh my gosh, y'all have no idea. Okay. Just wait.
It's Jover.
I won't let you down, Cyber. I won't let you down.
I won't
let you down.
All right, Pepinch-Beep.
Hate that guy.
Triple Ground. Love to see it.
I'm gonna make a bold statement and say that Mamoswine will be the top dog in the ground category from this 6 right here.
Agreed.
Like Great Tusk, Blood Moon, Mamoswine. Mamoswine's gonna be the top dog.
Yup.
Out of these 3 right here.
I can.
Because again. How do you switch into ground and ice? I'll wait.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Dog. You did not need to triple up on the ground. You did not need to triple up on the ground, my boy.
There was any coaches that didn't get selected? Like, did every coach have a Pokemon taken?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, almost all the SEs are gone. So.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had 4.
That's good.
They're pretty distributed.
Yeah, because I had.
The one thing left on the board that I feel like should have got taken was Iron Crown, but
here we go with the Iron Crown thing again.
I feel like Iron Crown is overrated. Maybe that's just me.
Same. Oh, I agree. I say people been disrespecting.
Yeah.
No reason.
Because it's a steel type that doesn't get rocks and it has to rely on setup to win games.
All right. Yeah? Let's wrap this up. Who's your pick to win fantasy? Mine is the Ram.
Michelle Haley.
Of course.
Surprise.
No bias.
Surprise. No bias, huh?
No bias. Totally real.
Okay. I'm going with Lord of the Rams. You have 6 offensive pieces. That's how you win. That's how you win fantasy. You just get 6 grand revenge killers and call it a day.
And on that note, I will end this video with 2 words. Go Rams.
Go Rams.